Oi, gente, bom dia, tudo bem? Eu sou o André Santos, sou o neófito da DENEM. E enquanto o nome da Polônia ele não entra, eu vou passar uns avisos aqui, tá? Só para situar vocês como é que vai funcionar hoje. Então, hoje é o último dia da Exchange Sphere. Ontem foi cancelado, né? Por conta que duas das quatro pessoas que iam apresentar tiveram problemas, não consegui. Então, a gente achou melhor cancelar. E daí, hoje seria, tipo, o segundo dia, assim, sabe? O segundo dia oficial. Então, para poder participar do sorteio, precisava ter participado ou do primeiro dia ou desse. A gente vai deixar só um dia de exigência, né, para não prejudicar ninguém. Então, quem participou do primeiro dia não obrigatoriamente precisa participar de hoje, né? É legal participar, mas não é obrigatório. E hoje a gente vai ter 5 apresentações, de 30 minutos mais ou menos. E daí, logo em seguida, a gente vai fazer o sorteio. Beleza? Então, a sequência de apresentação vai ser Polônia, depois vai ser Etiópia, se não me engano, deixa eu só confirmar aqui. Vai ser Polônia, depois Indonésia, depois Líbano, Etiópia e logo em seguida Alemanha. E daí, logo depois da Alemanha, a gente vai fazer. Cada processo é mais ou menos 30 minutos, assim. Daí, logo depois da Alemanha, a gente vai fazer o sorteio, tá? A gente já tem a planilha pronta aqui. E acho que é isso, assim, de aviso. Lembrando que para poder participar do sorteio, precisava ter feito preenchido o TCLE, pago a taxa e se inscrito no formulário dos países, tá? O formulário dos países já está fechado, fechou ontem, 11h59. E acho que é isso. Muito obrigado. Daqui a pouco a gente começa. Bom, gente, vamos começar agora, tá? Hey, Maciej, how are you doing? Maciej is the Nori in from IFMSA Poland, and we'll start the presentation now. I will share the screen for Maciej, and we'll start right away. Maciej, please feel free to start your presentation.
Ok, bom dia, eu sei Maciej, não falo português. Hi, I am Maciej, I am Nori in IFMSA Poland and also SCORIS Supervising Board member. You can get to the next slide. So this year we decided to create a new function in IFMSA Poland in collaboration with SCORP. We created National Coordinator for the project for cultural sensitivity. And this coordinator created a presentation which we give to our incomings, and it presents the most important information about Polish culture and also some less known tourist attractions. So I think it would be really interesting to show you this one and concentrate more about the cultural, historical aspect and little less about typical Scopy Scory stuff, which of course I will also mention. Okay, can you get to next slide? Okay, so I will say basic information about Poland, then about culture and about the places you need to see when you will visit Poland, and you will definitely do it in the future. And in the end, there are some also useful links you can also check if you want to know more about Poland. Okay, next, please. And another one. Okay, so firstly, where is Poland located? So it's in the Central Europe, so quite far away from Brazil, but we have got a lot of incomings from DENEM, so maybe you will be also the next one. And Poland has got also access to the Baltic Sea from the north, and in the south there are two mountain ranges. So the variety of Polish landscape is really something which stand out among other European countries. There will be also next slide about this, please. Okay, and the population is about 40 millions of inhabitants, and we have got 60 administrative provinces. In almost every province, there is also IFMSA Poland local committee, which you can visit, and each one of them gives a lot of both cultural and medical opportunities. Next slide, please. Yes, depending in which city you are staying, you have got also direct connections to another countries. Many incomings which visit Poland, they also visit other European capitals which are not far away. For example, like Berlin, Prague, Vilnius, or Vienna. Because we have got a good railway and plane connections with our neighbors. So it's always a great opportunity also to visit another European cities outside the Poland. Next slide, please. As I have mentioned, our topography is really various. In the north, there is beautiful Baltic Sea with sand beaches. In the south, there are mountains which are not so difficult to climb. So everyone finds something what they enjoy. Okay, next. And the weather in Poland. So, as it is written here, it's better be safe than sorry, and of course, have some umbrella raincoat because rain may happen all around the year. in Poland, and one of my incomings said that during Polish summer you may have 4 seasons one day, and it's quite true. So Polish weather can be quite unexpected. Definitely winter is way colder than in Brazil, sometimes is below 0 degrees, and in summer sometimes it happens that it's even 40 degrees, but there are some really rainy and windy days, and with temperature like 15 to 20. So it's always a good idea to take umbrella and some raincoat with you if you visit Poland. Okay, next. And here we have temperatures, so something I have mentioned before. So also next, please. Okay, and now about our amazing local committees. So unfortunately, not all of our local committees are active for Skopje and SCORE incomings, but we work on this. This year we managed to activate a new local committee, Zielona Góra in Western Poland, for SCORE incomings. They host actually this June incomings in project, which is really interesting because it joins both clinical work in the neurosurgery department and laboratory work in the physiology department. I can send you a link about this project later. And of course, we work to have a huge variety of projects. Our huge success this year was activation of Global Action Project in Poznań, and the project is about the diabetes type 1 and use of metformin. So we have got both basic science projects for the students in their preclinical years and also SCORE clinical projects, as I have mentioned, and a huge variety of SCOPE departments as well. Okay, next, please. And now a little bit of our culture. So with the elderly, you may come across language barrier, but we make sure to every incoming student to get contact person who will help you with the basic stuff like going to the hospital or the restaurant or getting a SIM card. So you will always have somebody who helps you with the basic stuff, and the majority of youth and especially medicine students and biomedical students, they speak English language also. Another languages like plenty of people speak German or Spanish. You may also have a chance to practice another languages than English. Okay, next, please. And now a little bit about traditional food. Typical Polish food isn't, I would say, too healthy, but we don't do this every day. Of course, if you are in comic, you can eat. But in general, there is quite a lot of meat, fat. So one of these typical dishes is bigos. This is like boiled cabbage with meat and mushrooms. The additions to this one depend on the region of Poland which you are visit, but you should definitely try it. There is also possible making a vegan version of this. Actually, the vegetarian and the vegan restaurants got quite popular in Poland less recently. So in every local committee you may also come across some of them. Okay, next, please. You may or you may not have heard about pierogi. These are like Polish dumplings, and they may be either sweet with, for example, cranberries or raspberries, or spicy, for example, with meat or with potatoes. And some modern Polish restaurants, they create like new tastes. For example, last time I ate with spinach and feta cheese. So you may also try this various tastes of them. Okay, next one. And this is pork chop, usually served with potatoes and some salad. And it can be also a version with chicken. It's something like Austrian schnitzel. So it's like typical Polish dinner you may get. Okay, next. And chicken broth, this is the most famous soup, quite often served with some noodles or vegetables, sometimes with meat. And it is said it is good when you have cold. It's not evidence-based, but it's definitely delicious. Okay, next one. And now a bit about the Polish hidden gems, because everyone probably knows our capital, Warsaw, or Krakow, which is the most touristic place. So I will tell about little less known attractions and which are definitely worth visiting. Okay, next, please. So firstly, I will say about Kołobrzeg. It's a sea resort in the western Pomerania, and it's one of the most famous with beautiful long beach. And for example, if you are in Gdańsk or Szczecin, it's not so long to visit this place. And of course, during summer there are plenty of people, but also Polish Baltic Sea is really beautiful in autumn, or in winter. It's great place to take a walks in beautiful landscapes. Okay, next one. Białowieża is located in the eastern Poland, not far away from local community Białystok. It's a beautiful forest reserve. You can meet there bisons and also beautiful wooden churches architecture. There is also Orthodox Christian communities, so there is a chance to see their cultural heritage. And this place you can visit all year round, and it's something which stands up in the Europe nature heritage. Okay, next one. Toruń is really not far away from my local committee, which is Bydgoszcz. And of course, we always take our incomings there. Toruń is famous for two things. One is Nicolaus Copernicus, which was famous astronomer, and the other one are gingerbread. The most famous gingerbreads are from Toruń. So you should definitely try gingerbread there. And there are also workshops of creating your own gingerbread. So sometimes we take our incomings there. This is in Gingerbread Museum, and this is a lot of fun. And of course, the old town is really, really beautiful there, as you can see on these photos. Okay, next. In the eastern Poland, not far away from Lublin local committee, there is Zamość, which also has got a beautiful old town. This one is in a bit different style than in Toruń, because Toruń has got like quite strong German architecture influence, and in Zamość it's more like in the Eastern style, but also really beautiful and definitely worth seeing. Okay, next. In the northern Poland, it's Malbork. It's a Teutonian castle, which is totally glorious, and it's perfect for one-day trip. It's just a castle, but believe me, there is a lot of beautiful things to see when you are in this place. It looks a bit like from some movie about medieval times, and it's really breathtaking and beautifully located by the Vistula River, which is also the biggest river in Poland. Okay, next. And about the south of Poland, Zakopane, the most famous mountain resort. There are many of tourists to the whole year, but the views are really amazing. And when you go to the really touristic places, my recommendation is, for example, to take a day off in the hospital during working days, and go there to avoid tourist crowd. Like you can go, for example, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and see this popular weekend touristic attraction, for example, like Zakopane in mountains, or some Polish sea resorts in the north, like Kołobrzeg, the one I have mentioned. Okay, next. And not far away from Zakopane is Kazimierz Dolny. It's actually a really small city. It has like, I think, 5,000 inhabitants, but it's really famous for its old town and castle. This place has got quite famous Polish film festival, so you can see a lot of Polish and also foreign celebrities, actresses, actors there, and it's famous for a place when you can create art. So also, if you want to get to know more about Polish art and culture, it's, I think, a really great place to visit. Okay, next. And now some useful links. You can also visit after this presentation if you are interested in going to Poland. Okay, next one. Because I think, yes, these are these links, so you can use them. The presentation is for you. And I think it is the last slide. So thank you very much. I hope you are interested in my national member organization. I hope you enjoyed this one. And thank you for the opportunity to have my presentation. And I hope you enjoy it. Muito obrigado.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Message. It was really, really great. It was amazing to have you here today. In a way to not delay the presentation more, we'll select some doubts here in the chat. And one of them, it's actually a personal one. How does the Polish healthcare system work? Like, is it public? Is it partially public? Is it accessible to everyone, even foreigners? Or how exactly does it work? Maciej, could you hear me, the question? Okay. Okay, so I think we'll have to move on to the next presentation. So I'll text him after. Now we'll have Simza Indonesia with Stair and the elected Neo in. I'll just text them so they can enter. Hello, Esther. Hello, Malika. How are you two doing?
Hello, I'm great.
I'm
Um,
sorry too.
Okay, so thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I'm really glad to have you here today. Whenever you want to start, Ster is the Neo out from South Indonesia, and Malika is the elected Neo in from South Indonesia, as you can read in their names. It's a great pleasure to have you here today. Whenever you want to start the presentation, you are free to go. Thank you.
okay, thank you so much. Okay.
There you go. You're sharing the screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I'm gonna start my presentation. Um, all right. So, hello everyone. Thank you for giving us your time to present about our animals, Korean Scope Exchange from Chunsa, Indonesia. So, my name is Esther. I'm the Neo Ad for Chunsa, Indonesia, and today I'm here with my Neo N and actually my Nori. So, probably you guys can introduce yourself first.
All right. Hello guys. Hello everyone. My name is Malika. I'm the elected Neo in for Chimsa Indonesia.
Okay, great. Is our Nori already here with us? Not yet. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna go next for the presentation. Okay, so for starters, actually, Chimsa Indonesia is one of the medical student organization here in Indonesia, and which is based on activities. And for now, Chimsa already has more than 10,000 members across 32 faculties of medicine in Indonesia. And for now, as for Scori, we have 15 locals, and for Scopi, we have 17 locals across Indonesia. Okay, so for this one, as for now, our exchange, the Scopi and Scori Chimsa Indonesia exchange, we also supported by some medical institution and the ministry here in Indonesia. Okay, probably Malika can continue for the presentation.
All right. Thank you. Well, I'm gonna tell you about the Indonesian health system actually, the actual health system in Indonesia. Okay, next. Well, in 2014, the Indonesian Health Ministry launched JKN, which stands for Jaminan Kesehatan Nasional, which roughly translated to national health coverage. And it was developed and updated from the previous system. It is which only covered for the national civil servants, and BPJS is the company that runs the system nationally. Since the system was implemented, every Indonesian must process and use this card for medical checkup purposes. I think it's similar with the several countries outside Indonesia, but the difference is all of Indonesians become a member of the state-backed insurance, while the other have the option to choose your own insurance company, either private or public. But although we are also allowed to be privately insured, but we have to be still registered in the system. Therefore, we have to own this card also. And not only for Indonesians, every foreigners who work here are also obligated to be registered in the system. JKN relies on upward referral, which means everyone has a primary healthcare institution, be it a family doctor or a public health center to go to as a first references whenever they need medical assistance. From there, they will be necessarily referred to a higher level healthcare institution. Type A hospital is the last resort for referral because it has the most complete specialties and facilities for the patients. And generally, the Indonesians are divided into four categories: the civil servants and also people who are below poverty level do not pay for their insurance. On the other hand, normal workers have to still pay either by themselves or by their employers or company. Next. All right, this is about the
Okay.
story of Indonesia, and this one for the Norwegian Zahras.
Okay, thank you everyone. Please next. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Zahras. I'm currently the elected Nori of CIMSA Indonesia, and then this is the Standing Committee of Research Exchange. In CIMSA Indonesia, we have four focus area, which is research exchange, exchange promotion, research promotion, and also research activities. Next. Okay, so this is our types of research exchange. We have basic science, we have clinical research with lab work, clinical research without lab work, and we also have global action project. Even though yearly, usually we only have like two global action project exchange. Next. Okay, so this is the project that we have
Okay,
from
so this is
previous year.
the
Okay. So for the cardiology, for example, we have like a molecular mechanism of green tea and green tea coffee combination on improvement of metabolic syndrome in rats, also in public health. We have scaling up intervention model of NCD prevention in Southeast Asia. And then in pharmacology, we have acute oral toxicity study on root ethanolic extract on um, Asalpia indica and other project. Next. We also have pneumology project, biology, and biochemistry project as well. So yearly we have like a lot of department that join us in our project, and then usually it's not just involved research in the lab work. However, sometimes we go visit the patient. Sometimes we also conduct like mini studies that we can also publish with our tutor and also with the LC that will work with you. And yeah, there's a lot of activities that we can do in Indonesia. It won't be like 6 hour full of lab work and stuff. Next. Yes, so we also have microbiology, and also this is the infectious disease. Usually infectious disease is our global action project, because we have since Indonesia is mainly for their tropical disease, and we also have pediatrics. Next. So this is our contract. Yearly, we have around 60 to 70 project contract per year. And yeah, last year we have almost 90 contract. Next. So the same. This is our academic quality of research exchange. We will surely have open arrival training in every local committee that you guys will attend. Next. Yes, so this is our social media. You could search, mainly we upload stuff on our Instagram. So yeah, feel free to visit us. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, this one about the Scope Chimsa Indonesia. Okay, we have 17 local committees of Scope Chimsa Indonesia, which separated into, from the first one is a University of Syiah Kuala and also the University of Brawijaya from across the Indonesia. Next. And in a normal year without global shutdown, we would send around 200 outgoing students each year and house around also the same number of incoming students spread across our 17 local committees. All right, next. This one also next. This one is the departments that we have, and our most beloved departments include general surgery, internal medicine, option, pediatrics, and also cardiology. Other than that, tropical medicine and emergency medicine are also very popular amongst incoming students here. And here are some of the stories from our previous incoming students that come to Indonesia. And as you can see, they had a terrific time with Skopi Shimsa throughout their exchange. And most of the universities still have the semester break until August, which means we unfortunately are not be able to host an incoming until I think it's this month, but we also open for the next month also. Furthermore, the Delta variant of COVID-19 is currently I think it's not a COVID-19, and also this one for the visa for the exchange in Indonesia, we have e-visa, or we can know about it is the visa student or visa B211A, which student can have the visa, or also we can have the visa on arrival. This one is for the visa exchange condition, which you can guys see for the Bentley, Chimsa AEC, and also for the Chimsa locals. And how if so because of the 17 local committees are not be able to hosting of all of them, but we have several local committees that have been doing the offline hosting, but some of them is not be able to have the offline hosting, but we have also the alternative, and this is the virtual exchange. And the national guideline for virtual exchange in Chimsa also, and we already have the initiative from the University of Erlangga and also the University Brawijaya, and also currently we have University of Indonesia and also the University of Pelita Harapan in Jakarta in this year.
Okay, so now I want to explain to you about Indonesian's culture. So as you know, Indonesia, we have 34 provinces, and then we have 500 and probably more folks and languages, also a population of 270 million people. So that's why we also have a lot of variety when it comes to culinary, and then arts and culture, religions, and also landmarks. So there are some of our tasty dishes from our country. So our national food include nasi goreng, soto, satay, and also a favorite of rendang. And each provinces actually they have like their own national foods, and each region have their own culinary that I obviously cannot mention here. And then for the next one, in this exchange program, we will also take you to see some of our beautiful culture and arts, such as traditional fashion like batik, dances such as reok and Ramayana ballet, music like gamelan, and other amazing art forms from each region in our locals. And then in Indonesia, we acknowledge 6 official religions. Those are Muslim, Christianity, Catholicism, Confucianism, Buddhism, and also the oldest one, which is Hinduism. And then through our social programs, we will also take you to see some of our most famous landmarks like Borobudur and Prambanan Temple in Yogyakarta, or Mount Bromo in Malang. And the most importantly, we will take you to the tropical, white-sanded, warm beach that you probably are longing for. Because as you know, Indonesia, we are surrounded by many oceans. So that's why every time you come to the locals, mostly we have like some beach near the university or near the locals there. Okay, so you can find us here, especially on our website and our Instagram page, which we update very regularly, and also on our issue for important publications. You can also send me an email if sometimes a random question pops in your head and that requires me to answer.
Thank you so much for the
Okay, so I
presentation.
think, yeah, this is
it
the
was
end of the presentation from us.
okay. So we do have some questions. First of all, thank you for the presentation. It was amazing. I love to see like some of the landscapes, and I was really surprised about the more than 500 languages and folks. Like that's a lot. Like even in Brazil, Brazil is very diverse, but we do not have like more than 500. Like this is probably one of the most multicultural countries in the world. One of the questions that popped up is if it's for the vegetarians and vegans, if they can adapt to the local food.
Okay. Okay, Zaras want to answer first? That's okay.
Okay. I think from my perspective, it's very we are very welcome for vegans because we have like a lot of food that is not what is it called, meat based food. Like we have gado gado, and then we have ketoprak, and then what else do we have, Esther or Malika?
I think in some restaurants, and probably because our locals are based on the city, we can actually like get a lot of vegetarian foods near the university or probably near the hospital. And because we as an Indonesian, we love to eat vegetable also, so it's easy to like for those of the students who are vegetarians to come to our countries and who cannot like adapt to the local foods. Probably Malika want to add some answers.
Yeah, I think that's true of my two friends that say that Indonesia is also easy to get the vegetarian foods because we have that Zahra said we have ketoprak, which vegetables with peanut sauce, and it's really delicious.
That's great. And another question is, if I were to go to Indonesia, I really want to actually. I really want to visit. I'm going to Thailand, and I plan to go to Indonesia for some days because, like, I see the pictures, I see everything, and it's amazing. If I were to go to Indonesia, which month would you recommend? Like, based on the number of incomings and also like the weather and all, which month do you think would be the best?
Oh, I think I'm gonna answer it first because based on our numbers of incomings, the biggest number is in July and also in August because most of the local committees are open for that month, and also in those 2 months, we have a semester break, which is our member will have their semester breaks and they have the holiday, which the incomings will get their time with the students also.
Yes, definitely. Well, currently in this term in 2023, we are planning to conduct a regional social program. However, hopefully in the future, maybe we can conduct like more bigger scale, like national social program, maybe to Bali, maybe to Labuan Bajo, or I don't know. Like it's still under discussion with all of the members as well.
hmm And about, you mentioned that one of the most desired departments is tropical medicine. A little bit about epidemiology. I remember that you promoted an event about malaria. So I would like to ask, like, what endemic diseases do you have? And including in the answer, I'd like to know if there's any vaccines that we need to take before going to Indonesia, like yellow fever that we have in Brazil. So which types of vaccines and diseases that you have that are endemic in Indonesia?
All right, I think tropical medicine is also the famous department amongst the incomings in here, and also for the endemic disease in Indonesia. But I think it's either diarrhea or um, I forgot the one. Maybe Zahra or Esther can know the endemic system, either diarrhea.
Okay, so actually for like the incomings who wants to go to Indonesia, I think um like the vaccines you need to take before you come to Indonesia. Probably it's not a vaccines, but for malaria, like they have like this like medicines that you need to take. If I'm not mistaken, like a week before you go to Indonesia. But actually, because like our locals, as I mentioned before, all of us are based on the city, not like not in the region that have like a lot of patient of malaria like that. So it's I think you can it's a not concern for the incomings who wants to go to Indonesia.
I want to add something because I think we already added the information in our local conditions of Indonesia and also the local conditions of our local committees. So you guys can check it on the IFMSA website.
Oh, perfect. On the exchange conditions, right? Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing about the nightlife. How's the nightlife? Brazilians love nightlife, as you probably know. It's part of our culture. So, how's the nightlife in Indonesia?
Okay, so even though Indonesia is a Muslim majority country, which is supposedly we are not like really big in nightlife, but I think our incoming is doing pretty well with their nightlife. We are currently have the biggest nightclubs in Jakarta in Asia Pacific, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. And then also when the incomings visit Bali, we have like a lot of beach clubs, and then yeah, I think in more bigger city like Jakarta and then Surabaya, Jogja, it's more common to go to the nightclub. But like maybe in more Sumatra area, it's not really that common to go to the nightclub. So yeah, maybe there is something that is something that you can consider as well. And yeah, I think that's from me.
Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation, guys. Thanks for accepting the invitation to come here today. I know that it's probably like, what time is it in Indonesia? It's like 9 p.m., something like that.
7
Yeah.
p.m. Yeah.
So please rest, please sleep. So thank you so much for accepting the invitation and for coming to present to us today. It was an amazing presentation. I always love to collaborate with you guys from Southern Indonesia. And thank you so much. I'm excited to work with you the rest of this season and next season as well. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much, all. See you in Indonesia.
See you. Ok, então agora a gente vai ter a apresentação do Líbano. Gente, uma coisinha, eles vão começar com um jogo no chat, então, tipo, vai ser um jogo da forca aqui no chat, então eu preciso que vocês interajam, tá, gente? Por favor. Eu vou colocar ele aqui. Hey, Mohammed, how are you doing? So you mentioned that you would like to start the presentation with a hangman game. So whenever you want to start, please feel free.
Hello. Just give me 1 minute because I need someone to enter. Hello, Andre. How are you?
I'm good, actually. Like, it's 9 a.m. now, so I just woke up. Yesterday was my birthday, so I drank a little bit. So it was a bit difficult to wake up today, but anyways.
I think I have internet connection problems, so like I'm sorry if at any moment my internet is cut. So I apologize for that.
Don't worry, it's all
Connection
good.
is low only in my home. It's not in Lebanon, so it's only in my home though. So don't worry about that.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Mazen. I'm from Lamsek, Lebanon also. I'm the exchange coordinator for this term.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
So
I think we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're gonna start the presentation, you mentioned that you want to start with a hangman game. So I've already warned my students that you have to interact in the chat, and when I see their answers, I will tell you. Okay.
Okay, Mohammed, are you gonna
okay.
share the presentation?
Yes, I'll try to present it. Just give me 1 minute, please.
Oh, take your time.
Okay, can you see my screen?
It's still charging. Like,
Yes.
I think it's probably the internet. Like it's not entered yet.
Just notify me when it's
Sure.
visible.
Yeah, now it's working.
Okay. So can I start?
Yes, sure, please.
Yes. Please let me know if at any moment I'm not audible. Just let me know, please. Okay. Okay. So welcome everyone. It's Muhammad Sroor. I'm LAM6 NeoN, and please welcome Mazen Homsi. He's my exchange coordinator, and we'd like to invite you to see our exchange program and to invite you all to see you at any moment during your life, because we promise you to let you have one of your best months in Lebanon. Okay. So just as an outline, I'll just like show you where is Lebanon and some general information about us and about Lebanon and about our exchanges. And I will leave the floor for your questions at the end. So as you can see in this slide, it's me in the center, and it was last month in May during EMR camp. So we won the exchanges fair in EMR, the Eastern Mediterranean region. I hope you can know why during my presentation. Okay, so where's Lebanon? Lebanon is just in the center in the Middle East. It's a very small country. However, it's full of many destinations for you to visit. So Lebanon is the population of Lebanon is around 7 million, and its capital is Beirut. And we're very famous that we are multilinguistic and that we talk in 3 languages: Arabic, English, and French. And I forgot to tell you that I'm talking with some Lebanese Brazilian, because from what I know, you can Google it and just make sure of it. Like there's, from what I know, around 8 to 10 million of Brazilian population that originated from Lebanon. So you can come to our home country if any one of you would come. So just a brief introduction about our LCs. We have 7 active LCs. I will start by the Scopy LCs. We have our famous AUBMC. It is the top 1 medical center in the MENA region. Second, our hospital, Lebanese Jaitawi. It is mine hospital. It is famous for its biggest burn center in Lebanon. Third, Mount Lebanon Hospital, and is very famous and for people who would like to be more knowledgeable about oncology specialty. Fourth, the St. George Hospital. Fifth, the Al Maqasid Hospital. It is a public hospital, and in this hospital, you will get exposed to all socioeconomic people, to multiple socioeconomic level of Lebanese population. Last but not least, the Lebanese American University Rizik Hospital. It is very known with its comprehensive stroke center. And last, Hôtel Dieu de France. It is for French. It is a French-speaking hospital. If anyone would like to try this experience. Now moving on to SCORI LCs. We have in AUB 4 projects focused on microbiology, molecular biology, immunology, pharmacology, and others in hematology, oncology, and neurology, of course. And soon we will open the project at the Lebanese University, a project focused on IVF and fertility. Now, about our academic quality, we are very known with our high standard academic quality, and we hope that we can share it with you when you come. So I'll try to tease you a bit. Sorry, just to encourage you to come with us. First, our exchange team is very well trained. We do Leo's Lowers training to build their capacities. So when you come to Lebanon, you will be encountered by professional people, hopefully. And we do CPS training for the people that you will be in front and in contact during your exchange season. And about our outgoings, we do our PDT. So if our students will go to Brazil, they will be very well known about global health issues, about they will be training in suturing workshop and many other research basics. Moreover, this year we did the PET, it is the pre-exchanges training. We did it yesterday for our July incomings. So it is an online workshop, and it will build your capacity in research basics, such as literature review, study designs, and critical appraisal. And for Scopy incomings, they will learn how to write a case report. And of course, like both Scopy and Scori students can get access to these sessions. Now, and when you will come to Lebanon during your first week, we organize the Open Arrival training, and you will get multiple workshops about global health, and you will be introduced to Lebanese healthcare system and many other trainings about medical ethics and research ethics. And of course, there's another educational activity during our social programs, such as visiting the refugee camp in Lebanon, and by that you will get be more familiar, and you will get more you will encounter the sorry, just 1 minute. So you will visit the refugees in Lebanon, and you will encounter the vulnerable population in Lebanon. And this term, we are leaving a surprise for whoever is coming to Lebanon. And for concerning other exchanges, we have 6 FACS projects. It's a Scopy-SCOF collaboration. And moreover, we have Score Exchange and GoScorp Exchange, and we are working soon about Gap Exchanges. It is, if you don't know, it's a collaboration as FACS, but between Scori and SCOF. And now I will leave the floor for Mazen to continue the presentation.
Hey everyone. So now we're gonna talk about
Mazen?
like some of the hello, can you hear me everyone?
Yeah, it's working.
Yes.
Okay, so Mohammed, if you can go to the next slide, please. So now we're going to give you a list about why you should definitely come to Lebanon and some key points and features that make Lebanon such a special country and why we talk so heavily about it. So one of the main things are the Lebanese coast and why it's such a special coast. It's really known for its rich history, you know, like the stunning beauty of it and the natural diversity and the culture there. And like our seas have ancient history, like dated back to thousands of years, all the way part of Phoenicia. And we also have like castles and really nice seafood. And our nature, like we have really, really diverse natures and forests. We have like the really famous cedar forest, and we have the Bekaa Valley, which has, you know, like a lot of really nice nature there, and our historical sites, which also date to really, really, really old times, and Saidun Castle, and we have the Tripoli Castle, and a lot of really nice ones. And our cities also, each city is unique for something special about it. Like some cities like Batroun are like the seaside cities, and Beirut is the like nightlife city with all the parties going on. And Tripoli is known to be like very old, and you get the Arabic vibe from like Tripoli the most because it's the best city and it's my city. That's why. We also have like people, mainly the people in Lebanon, and the nightlife. We party till 6, 7, 8 a.m. We pre-drink, then we drink, and after the party, we also drink again before we sleep. We really know how to live. And the people, to me, is the main thing about Lebanon, regardless of anything that's on this presentation, because we really are really hospitable people, and anyone who comes to Lebanon leaves always saying it wasn't just what they saw, it's what they felt, because it's not just like an exchange, it's more of, creating bonds and like becoming really close to people. I personally speak to all my incomings, and I'm going now to meet some which I've known 2 and 3 years ago again. So like we always stay in touch. It's special. And our food, obviously, which is on there now, tabbouleh, hummus, all the meza everyone knows about, which is also unique to us, because if you eat it anywhere else, it's not going to taste the same. You have to taste it from the hands of people who have worked hard to make this level of perfection, honestly. And our culture is a mix of Arabic and westernized depending on the area. So everyone fits in. That's a key point. And the money, because a lot of people always ask us before they come to Lebanon, like, how much money should we bring? And we always tell them, no matter what you bring, you're gonna have fun, but obviously don't bring $100. Like, come on, like, give us something reasonable to work with. But regardless of what you really bring, we always find a way, because like it's really a cheap country, especially now with what's going on. But we always have room to wiggle, and we would always pitch in. So like we never leave anyone behind. And are obviously the exchanges, the experience, the people, what they live, and hospital, because also people coming to Lebanon always say that they experience an interactive exchange in the hospital. They don't just sit around and just listen to what doctors have to say. No, they participate and actively do stuff that they've never expected to do. Like a lot of students have intubated the first time here, and a lot of so and so, and obviously our parties and the accommodation, which if I wanted to actually talk about, I would never stop. I'm really passionate about the exchange. That's why I'm the exchange coordinator, obviously. So like our accommodation, this colorful bright building is the center of our exchange. It's where all the magic happens, in and out of the rooms. So like everything in this accommodation is what makes us family, because we're all close together. So we have like rooms up in the hotel, and then we have a really one big room, like, which has a living room, a kitchen, and all that, with also like small rooms in it, and a balcony, like a backyard. So always there, if we don't want to go out, we always have a party in that little small room, and we're always together, like bonding, sitting together, talking. Even the CPs sometimes come and stay there all night, just like stay with everyone and have a nice time, like, because that's what it's all about. And our social program, because we put blood, sweat, and tears and 7 years worth of experience into it. We actually put a lot into it, and it's really well organized. And we have a lot of testimonies. If you want, we will provide. But really, seriously, it's really well organized throughout the course of Lebanon and how you would want to visit it. And it's really sorted out to include safety, well cost, and the ability to see everything at once without missing anything. And we always top it off with like parties, activities on the bus, dancing, singing, doing just whatever we want, because it's a free country. As you can see from the photos, like all sorts of activities. We actually go rafting. We do this. I forgot what that white thing is called. I'm sorry, guys, but like that white thing, Roman type of party, I forgot. And like we really bond. It's like a really special experience. More beautiful photos. I miss those days. I'm in every single photo, guys. Notice I always have the biggest smile. And that's our national food and drink party, where we all like get a lot of food, because we always have at least 30 to 35 exchange students, so we genuinely eat from almost every single country and drink from every single country, and it never ends well. I'm joking, it always ends well, but we really give it our all that day. And we go to an island, and this is like from us going to a boat trip to a really nice island, but I'm not going to tell you more. You have to come to see. And that is a really important code that you should scan if you want to have a nice summer with us, guys. Time for questions.
Thank you, Mazen. And by that, we hope that briefly we have show you some general, like we encourage you and we motivate you more to visit us. And we hope that we can see you soon. Now it's time for your questions. If you have any, we are very glad to answer you.
Thank you so much for the presentation and for showing us the social program and how the exchange works in Lebanon. It's really, really great. It was amazing to see how it works there and how well organized the social program is, the national and the local social program. We do have some questions, personal and some in the chat. First, about the nightlife, since nightlife is one of the greatest things in Lebanon. Is it safe, like, to go out alone at night and then come back, especially for women and, for example, LGBTQI plus public, or would you recommend like going in groups of bigger people?
Yes, got you. Yes, it's totally understandable to ask this question, but I can guarantee you that it's a myth around
Guys,
Lebanon.
I promise you, I swear to God, I've been to a lot of countries around the world, really. I'm actually Australian, you know? So, but like I've lived a lot of my life in Lebanon. So like I'm currently in Australia right now also, but I've never felt as safe anywhere in the world as in Lebanon. Like here, even here, I wouldn't walk in the streets at 3 a.m. In Lebanon, I would walk anywhere. I mean it. And you can ask the previous incomings. They all, because we live, like the compound you saw is in a really live area, because so a lot of the times, like someone would want to go out, buy something random at the middle of the night, they would just go buy it and come back, like a 5 minute walk, regardless of who he is. And regarding LGBTQ plus community, we only party, like not only, but a lot of our parties are only in gay clubs, because in Lebanon, gay clubs are the best clubs, genuinely. So uh, like it's always safe, you know, like, and Lebanon isn't like that, like we proudly embrace our Arab origin, but we are also very westernized, you know, like so it's very open in Lebanon. It's different than what you would think, because the media doesn't cover it that much, you know. And keeping in mind that now, like, we have a lot of upcoming generation that's like very vibrant and out, you know. So it's really actually safe. You rarely would hear anything like going on, like, and really you can ask the previous incomings, because I'm sure like we've had incomings from almost like a lot of the countries I see now. So you could ask them, even the girls, they've never not felt safe. They've had girl nights, went out by themselves, like they would take an Uber, go and come back. Like the worst thing that would happen is like that when they got the Uber, like they would accept on the app that's like for, I don't know, like 100 Lebanese, and the guy would ask for 120, you know, like that's the worst that could happen that night. Like nothing more really. So like, that's for that question.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question is, when is the best time to go to Lebanon? Like which month, which season? What do you think? Or is it great like all year?
Yes, actually, we host incomings all year long. Lebanon is famous in its four seasons: spring, fall, winter, summer. But for better experience, for the best experience, it's during the summer, as there will be around 40 incomings during July and 45 during August. And of course, there is in September, October. So during the period from June, July till September, mid of October, it's the ideal time. However, in each season, you can get its own experience, because we are famous in four seasons.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Another question is if not knowing Arabic, it's gonna be a problem. Like if interacting with patients
Uh,
and if they're in
yes,
question.
actually, it's a common. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. During your hospital, yes, it's very common if you go to any another country that will face this language barrier between you and the patients.
Mhm.
If you are going to clinical departments. However, we have we talk with your tutors, with the residents, the interns to translate to you and to let you be the engaged in the discussions and the presentation with the patients. And if and concerning the language barrier outside the hospital, you can rest assured that I can say 80%, 90% of Lebanese people can speak English and French other than Arabic. So I believe that you won't face that culture shock as especially the young people of Lebanon can talk in multi-language.
Mm-hmm. And would you recommend like taking an Arabic course before going to Lebanon, or do you think it's not really necessary?
It's like
Sorry, I
honestly,
did.
it's honestly like it's I think personally because like for example I'm going to Poland in a week for my exchange and I'm learning Polish just for the experience of living it, you know.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's necessary to learn or take an Arabic course because, as Muhammad said, I think like 90% of Lebanese people speak at least three languages, like Arabic, English, and French, because everyone is like kind of forced to learn them, you know. So even in the hospital, I'm also sure that most patients will be able to speak with you in Arabic, English, or French, and if not, anyone on the round with you would definitely speak Arabic, English, or French. So you would never be felt, you know, like feel left out. Regarding like having to take that course, like it's up to you, you know, like it's not necessary, but it's always fun to be more immersed in your exchange, regardless where you are going, like from my personal opinion.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for answering the questions. I think that's basically it. I recall you mentioning a hangman game. If you wanna do it, the floor is yours.
Yes, it was supposed to be done during the introduction, but I felt that I have internet connection problems, so that's why I prefer to do the presentation. So
Oh, okay, it's
we
okay.
already,
Okay, okay, perfect. Another question that popped up right now
uh,
is if there is any like um about women, like is it safe to go like with the patients, especially the male patients, regarding like women? Are they like, is it safe? Is it great? I remember you mentioning that it's one of the safest countries to walk around at night, but like inside the hospital and all, do you think do you think
mhm.
it's like really safe in the hospital?
Yes.
And
Yes, for sure. Because
Mhm.
like
So
let Muhammad answer this.
just let me refer. Yes, just let me. Do you mean the if you can examine women patients in the hospital? Is that your
Yeah.
question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't understand your question. Didn't you mean like is it safe for the female students to be around male patients or is it vice versa?
Yeah, like women being like the exchange students being with male patients like alone.
I
If I'm gonna
Did you
examine the
understand Muhammad what he meant? That's what.
Yes, if safe, yeah, it's totally safe, and if you can examine a woman patient, so it's not a problem. It all depends on the consent of the patients and your medical team, and so it's totally normal.
Yeah, and regarding the female exchange students
Yeah,
being with male patient, it's totally normal and totally fine. No one is like that, you know. It's not. I don't know. Like, I've never heard of this like stereo like this thing, you know. Like, it's not there. Like it's just like any other country with an organized medical system, and normal male female patient interaction. Like, and there's security anywhere, also. So, like, no, it's totally normal in
Yes,
that
at the
region.
end,
Like, why wouldn't it be?
yes, at the end, you are practicing medicine, so it won't be that problem.
Perfect. That's great to hear. Like that, we exchange students will be safe. In the whole exchange, like from the nightlife to inside the hospital to everywhere. Um, Another question is about the English certificate. Do you require? I think it's probably the exchange conditions. But do you require like any specific English certificate, or like the NMO certificate's fine?
It's lagging, I think. The problem is mine. Can you repeat, please, the question?
About the English certificate, do you require like a specific English certificate, or like the NMO certificate's fine?
Yes, actually, English will be your only language to talk, from what I believe, since you will not. It's very hard to learn Arabic. So, for the hospitals, there is no like required English level that what make it more easy for you to apply. However, it's for better experience and for better benefit, it's better to have like more English understanding, but we don't require any English proficiency document. But it will be like kind of required for you to be able to interact with the medical team, with the CPs and others. But don't be ashamed. We totally understand that not all the people got the chance to learn the same level of English, so it's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you so much, Mazen, for accepting the invitation and for coming here today. It was amazing to have you here and to learn a little bit more about Lebanon. In fact, we do have many Lebanese descendant people in Brazil, like not really in the south, but in Rio, in São Paulo, we have many, 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 many Lebanese families. And even in my university, we have like 2 or 3 Lebanese families that have students in my university. So you guys are like spread around the world, to be honest. And thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for presenting and for answering the doubts in the chat. You guys did amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Obrigado.
so much. Obrigado. Thank you so
Eu
much
falo
for your
português.
invitation.
Eu falo português.
Your Portuguese is actually really good. Like it's so funny. Like many neos, Norris, and exchange coordinators, and they know a little bit of Portuguese, and it always shocks me. Like
Sim,
yesterday,
sim.
I received
Legal.
parabéns pra você. Like it's a happy birthday to you music in Portuguese, sung by the NPO from Germany. I was like, no, that's not possible. Like it's fascinating to me how you guys try to learn a little bit of Portuguese, because Portuguese is not easy. So thank you so much for considering our
Because it's
language the
close
same
to
way.
French also, and it's a really nice culture. That's why.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming today, and I hope we'll see you around, like maybe in the August meeting and somewhere else. Thank you.
Hopefully. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Agora a gente vai ter a apresentação da Etiópia. Só vou esperar ela aqui entrar. Acho que ela não viu as minhas mensagens ainda, mas daqui a pouco ela entra. Quando ela entrar, eu coloco ela aqui. Gente, sobre uma coisa sobre o Líbano. Eles cancelaram a vaga que eles tinham com a gente, então não vai ter o sorteio do Líbano, mas eu vou relembrar isso mais pra frente na hora do sorteio, tá? Obrigado. Hello, Maramavit. How are you doing? So now we'll have the presentation from EMSA Ethiopia. Maramavit is the NEO from Ethiopia. Whenever you want to start here, the floor is yours. If you want to share the screen, I will put it here.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me really. Can you hear me good?
Yes. Right.
Okay. Thank you. First, I want to thank you for inviting me for this amazing session. I've been following everyone doing their presentations, and I honestly want to say it was really informative and it was really great. And thank you for everybody that has been presenting. And now I want to present more about what Ethiopia looks like, why you would want to come here, and yeah, the presentation is going to have everything, and I would love to answer any questions you guys might have in the middle of it. So now I'm going to start sharing my screen if it lets me, so give me a couple of minutes if that's okay.
Só um pouquinho, gente. A gente já volta, tá? É que ela teve um probleminha pra espelhar a tela. Mas daí ela vai me mandar a prestação, daí eu apresento a tela aqui pra ela. Mas daqui a pouco a gente volta. So if you want to start without the presentation, then as soon as I receive it, I will share the screen. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I wish that you guys could be able to see the presentation, but unfortunately, I don't think that's about to happen, but we will try to present it as soon as it comes. But I'll try to give you an insight even without the presentation about what EMSA Ethiopia does, what Ethiopia is as a whole, and what to expect as an incoming from Ethiopia and Skopje ourselves. So first I'm going to start off from the country itself, Ethiopia. I know I've been saying it a lot. So to start from where it's located, it's from the Horn of Africa, and it's a very landlocked country, and it's one of the 6 countries that make up the Horn of Africa, and it's really known for its culture and its heritage, tradition, and the landscapes that we offer. And you will see it as you come in a lot of our LCs. None of your contact persons or even anyone working with Skopje would let you go without seeing these amazing heritage and landscapes that we have. So they're like really good tourist attractions. So Ethiopia as a whole, so it's a country of a lot of rich history, and it dates back to 1000 BC or so, and it was also part of the Solomonic dynasty. It also dates back way before that, and we've had a lot of fascinating dynasties ourselves, like Aksumite dynasty. And so yeah, it has a lot of rich and very traditional culture that comes along with that. And it's also like I said, it's located in the Horn of Africa and has 120 million inhabitants by now. So and a lot of these people have their own cultures and traditions. There are a lot of languages spoken here. I know it's not like that of I think Indonesia, that I heard 500 countries, 500 languages, but we have around 80 languages spoken here, and a lot of different cultures that go along with the languages. And also the history of Ethiopia is also very fascinating, considering the fact that we are one of the very few countries that have not been colonized from Africa. So we actually celebrate this Victory Day on March 2. So anyone that comes as an exchange student in March, you would get to be part of this celebration and see how we celebrate it as Ethiopians. And it's actually a very nice and very immersing and very emotional time for a lot of people. So we do that quite a lot. And apart from that, like I said, it's not just the cultures, but also the landscapes, and also a lot of what do you call it? A lot of cultural places, and a lot of things have been registered under UNESCO as World Cultural Heritage, and that also includes the Fasilides church and castles, which you guys could look up, and I'll also share. And I had the picture of it, but unfortunately, since we can't have it here, you guys could look it up, and I'll also share links where you can see that. And honestly, the pictures don't even do it justice. It is this very large castle and also church made in the 16th century, but it doesn't look like it was made in the 16th century, and it's very complicated, and it's surrounded by a 900-meter long wall. And there are a lot of festivals that happen there. So I will talk about the festivals later on, but there's also that. And there are a lot of UNESCO registered World Heritage sites that you guys must visit when you come here. And they really take you back to a lot of centuries, and you can see how people really lived. And it also makes you wonder how they were able to come with these really huge architectures by that time, because some of them were just woven from a single rock, and it's really huge. And yeah, so there's that. And apart from that, one of the greatest discoveries that was made here was the Australopithecus africanus, what we call Lucy. And it's like a skeleton, but almost a complete skeleton here, and was discovered here, and also made a lot of scientists wonder if Africa is actually the origin. And you'd be able to also visit that in one of our museums. So that is what we offer.
Caiu aqui, já peço para ela voltar.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, now it's working.
Okay.
You talked about the visiting losing the museums.
Okay, thank you for the reminder. I apologize for the connection. But yeah, to continue, that is one of the most complete, a complete form of skeleton, and it also made a lot of art. A lot of archaeologists wonder if Africa is actually the origin of humankind, and here it's actually in the middle of the city, in the capital of the city. So if you would also be able to visit one of the museums that has that. So this is a little bit about the country as a whole, but we're not just about what do you call it, cultures. We're not just about heritage and stuff. We also have a lot of traditions of our own. For example, what I really want to mention and what a lot of our exchange students get to experience the moment they get here is the coffee ceremony. I know everybody gets to drink their coffee every morning, but we actually incorporated in our upon arrival trainings. So in the middle of that, or right after they've had their trainings, we have this coffee ceremony where everybody gets dressed in their traditional clothes and is served in this very small cups called, and a lot of our exchange students actually want to take those back home, so we gift them as a gift. And there's a whole elaborated ceremony, coffee ceremony, and it's actually one of the ways that Ethiopian people get to talk and catch up, and it's just like going out for dinner, but in your own house, and also in a very traditional way. And another thing I want to mention is the food we have here. So we have both modern and food and traditional foods, and I know this has been asked before, so they are vegan friendly, they really are. So we have a little bit of both, and we have this thing that we call injera, and I hope you guys can get to look that up too. So this is more of a very thin traditional bread type of thing that we eat almost every day. But if you don't like that, we have a lot of other variety of food to offer. And so yeah, the food is something that people come here and get really fascinated about. And something about it is that it is spicy, but we can also make it non-spicy, precisely prepared, personally prepared for all of you. So we have that. And so apart from all this culture and tradition I've told you about, we really have a warm hospitality, welcoming hospitality. If you go on the street and people would actually recognize you as a foreigner, you'd have anyone willing to help you to do anything. So there's this warm hospitality, really intrigued in our tradition and culture. So there's that I really want to talk about. So as Ethiopia, we're not just about the tradition and culture, but we do also have touch of modern to us, especially the big cities in the country, including the capital Addis Ababa, which is also the capital of Africa. And it is also home to the African Union, the Economic Commission of Africa, and also African CDC. So y'all, and this is just to tell you how we also have a lot of modern touch to the traditional things I already mentioned here. So this is all about what our country looks like and what you would expect if you come here. And then what I want to take you now is what our health systems look like as a whole. So we, like I said, it's a developing country. Ethiopia is a developing country. So working in the medical field means working with really underdeserved and undeveloped and underdeserved population who actually see you as their only hope of survival, which means you get to have a very, you get to connect with your patients on a very personal level, as I can say it, if I could actually say that. But yeah, so working in really underdeveloped situations also want to make you wonder how we can work with very limited resources, because honestly, resources are very, they're very scarce here. So especially for those of you who want to work in world organizations or just want to volunteer in third world countries, this gives you an opportunity to really immerse yourself and how to do things without the high-tech things available to you. So there are a lot of minor things that should have been available but are not when it comes to these countries, including ours. So when you get to attach to these centers, you would see how it's actually done with a very limited resources available. So there's that that I would really see as an advantage instead of a bad thing. So another thing is that Ethiopia is also a double burden country, meaning that we have both communicable and non-communicable diseases. So whatever department you want to come in, whether it be internal medicine, surgery, pediatrics, or OBGYN, we have both the communicable and the non-communicable diseases burden. So you would have an exposure to both of them. So whatever medical career you want to continue in, you would really be exposed to both of them in one department. So that's also something that I see as an advantage attaching here in our country. So this is more about what our health systems look like. But what do our exchange students expect academically when, let's say, they come here, they get their upon arrival training, they get well suited, but academically, what do they expect? So you should expect to be able to clerk patients on an everyday basis if that's what you want, but you will be able to clerk patients. One thing I see as a problem is the language barriers people have when clerking patients. So the doctors do speak English. Every doctor speaks English. Every history, every note you see, everything is taken in English, as English is the educational language in the country. So that's what you get. But when it comes to communicating with the patients, they will not be able to speak English, but you will have either your contact person or someone that's actually rotating with you on a daily basis that's on your level to help you clerk the patients. So language will not be your major concern. So you get to meet them, greet them one-on-one, and see what their problem is starting from the bottom up. So that's one thing I want to say about what you would expect every day. And another is that you would have the opportunity to participate in morning case presentations and also rounds, because as they happen every day, and this includes the attendees, the seniors, the residents, and also the interns, and also us, the medical students. So you get to participate in all of these. The advantage about having to participate here is, as exchange students, you won't be people won't really be asking you that very hard questions that really have us scared, but at the same time you would be able to participate and answer questions, ask questions, any type of questions you like. And on top of that, a lot of these hospitals are referral hospitals, which means they're tertiary hospitals, which means a lot of complicated cases are presented there, meaning that from all over the country, especially Tukuran Bessa Hospital or Addis Ababa University has these referrals from all over the country, and they're getting referred here, which means you would get the chance to see one of the many the unique diseases and also complicated diseases both at the same time. And honestly, being a medical student there myself, I see it both as an advantage and also a bad thing for me, because we mostly get to get exposed to very complicated and very unique cases, meaning that we may not have that much of an exposure to common diseases. But as for you guys, as an exchange student, if I was an exchange student, I would want to see this. I would want to be able to see how it's treated, how it presents, and not just read it off a book, but actually be able to see it. So that's one thing I would say is an advantage having to attach on one of our referral hospitals. So another thing is you get an insight into tropical diseases. What I mean by that is that, like I said, if you want to work in World Health Organizations and anything like that, you have to be able to know how to treat these patients and how these things present. And we have a lot of burden when it comes to tropical diseases. So that's one thing you might want to consider when you come here. And one thing we do as SCOPI and also as EMSA, the Students Association, is that we do community outreach programs. And that's not a requirement, of course, but if you want to, if volunteering is part of your experience, if you want that to be part of your experience, that's something we do. We offer blood donation campaigns, so you can be part of the campaign urging other students students, nurses, doctors, and everyone to donate blood, or you yourself can donate blood if that's something you'd want to do. Of course, no one is gonna caress you or force you into doing it, but if that's something you're interested in, it's always available. We do it every month, every 2 weeks. It's a cycle, so you can be involved in that. Another thing that we do is we offer free screening services like breast cancer screening and also awareness, diabetes screening and awareness, hypertension screening and awareness, and you can be part of that. And you won't be doing it alone. You would be doing it as group of students going out to the population and giving those screening advices. So we would be doing that. And another thing is that you would get to shadow renewed doctors of the country, meaning that, like I said, a lot of our LCs that are activated with SCOPI are tertiary hospitals or referral hospitals, which means a lot of the country renewed doctors actually work there. This one time, as I was the contact person to one of our incomings, he said that he's never seen a foot ulcer as a result of diabetes, so I had to take him to our diabetes center. Even though he was attaching into another department, I just had to show him. So that's one thing. That's also one thing I want to mention. Even if you're attaching to one of our departments, if your country doesn't have, let's say, you don't get to see labor just one-on-one, then that's something that we offer. If our country or if our hospital offers it, then that's something we would be able to give you, even though that's not part of your attachment here as an exchange student. So so that's the thing. Considering that it's a referral hospital, a lot of country renewed doctors come there, so you get to share their experiences, you get to ask them a lot of questions, even that we don't get to do. So that's something that I want to see, that I would want to see you guys do once you come here. Another thing is that you get to assist in different procedures. Like I said, we have a very big doctor to patient ratio. So medical students, we don't necessarily give out treatment, but we also treat it as doctors. So you get to have a one-on-one experience with your patients. Even though you don't give them treatment, you can give them advices. And when someone else is giving the treatment, you can assist them. Me, myself, I'm just a clinical 2-year student, but I have assisted in the delivery of babies and I've delivered placentas myself. So I thought this was a normal thing until I was involved in the exchanges, and I saw that a lot of times this is not normal, and people actually find this to be fascinating, that we are this involved in the patient's life. So you get to do things one-on-one, assist into minor procedures, and also scrub into the major ones. So that's also something that I want to say about. Another thing is another thing that I want to talk about is our local chapters. So in our SCOPI local chapters, we have 8 local chapters. 2 of them were recently activated, Haramaya and Debre Tabor, but the rest of them have been activated ever since SCOPI Ethiopia was activated, and now we're on the process of activating more LCs. At least I expect at least 3 or 4 LCs to be activated, SCOPI activated by the end of my term, which is just starting actually. So there's that. And so 2 of our local chapters, Addis Ababa University and St. Paul Medical College, are actually in the city. So those of you that want to stay in the city might actually want those. But of course, not everybody is going to get to stay in the city. And I personally recommend that you guys go out and see what all the cultures and all the traditions I told you about, they really exist outside of the city. So I would want to see you guys be involved in other LCs and really get to see that. For example, in Gondar, the one that the Fasilides Church that I talked about and the castle, it exists there, and you just really have to see that. It's also actually my plan to go there and see that myself. I've never been there. So as a foreigner, to actually get to come and see that, I would really recommend that. So for those of you that want to do some adventures, that want to do sightseeing, I really recommend you not being in the city, but going out of the city and seeing the other LCs, what they offer academically and also traditionally, including the landscapes that you can see. Another thing is that for those of you that really want to stay in the city, we are also in the verge of activating one more LC. So we would have 3 LCs in the city that could be able to accommodate more students. So there's that. So these are about, I wish you could see the pictures, but still this is all about our LCs. Another thing that I want to mention is our social nights. So what do our social nights look like? Because I know our exchange students come both for the academic and also the cultural side, and the best way to show students the cultural side is the social nights themselves. So they happen every, let's say, 2 weeks or slide seems to be working now. I'm actually so the first parts have been all about Ethiopia, the one that I've been talking about the culture, the tradition, why you should come to Ethiopia, the coffee culture, and also the food there. On the fourth row is the food that I was talking about. And the next one is the modern part of Ethiopia. As I said, we are home to African Union, Economic Commission for Africa, and also African CDC. And this is just the city that you see, the capital city that you see. And next, let's go. Continue, please. So the next one is the educational part that I talked about. This is all about the resources, how you can manage with very limited resources, and how our healthcare professionals are really deep into everyone's personal lives and how they can manage and also help underserved populations. Next, please. And this one is what our exchange students expect. This is what I've been talking about so far, and how you would be able to attend rounds, how you'd be able to assist in deliveries of babies or even minor procedures, and how you'd be able to have an exposure and how to treat and how tropical diseases present, for example, like malaria. So you'd have an exposure to all of that. Next, please. So yeah, this is the local chapters that I talked about. The first 2 are Addis Ababa University and St. Paul Millennium College. These are just a caption of what they look like and what the city they're located in looks like. And Gondar University is the one that the one that's in the third, and that's the one that has the castle that I talked about before. And it's really a very great place for you guys if you want to see that. Next, please. Next, please. Oh, can you go back one step, please? Thank you. So I was actually here starting to talk about what our social nights look like. So they happen every twice a week or once a week, depending on which LC you are. And we offer different things. So the thing about our social nights is that we try to personalize them as much as possible. So during our upon arrival trainings, as we teach you or show you what our country looks like, we also try to study you and see what you like, what you don't like, what you expect from our exchange, so that we can personalize the social nights as much as possible. Some of our exchange students say that they want to do hiking, they love hiking, so that's where we take them. We prepare personalized hiking trips for them, and these are just pictures of what our social nights look like before, and some of them just want to go to these beautiful resorts and they just want to relax over the weekend, so we have those trips available to them. And there are a lot of parks here in the city and also in other places. One of the ones that says parks is if you're just the type that just wants to just settle down, read your book in this amazing, very flowery places and stuff, we have a lot of parks to visit and also just spend your days there, and we also allow you to do that. Another thing is the festivals. I I placed them here because I really want to talk about the festivals, and they also give you an insight on when is the best time to come here in Ethiopia. So one of the festivals, the fire thing you see there is called Mescal, and it's actually a commemoration of it's a feast of finding of the true Holy Cross of Christ, and it's actually registered under UNESCO as a representative list of intangible heritage. So that's one thing you would really want to see. It happens on the 27th and also the 28th of September. So any of you guys who wants to come on September, we not only have mezcal, we also have buhe. That's also another celebration that celebrates the finding of the true cross, and this fire is part of the celebration. I can't really explain it to you how it goes because that would be really long, but I will share links for you to see on YouTube on what they look like, what to expect. And I really recommend coming on September because not only do we have these two festivals, we also have New Year's. So we don't celebrate New Year's the same time as everybody else does. Ethiopia uses a different calendar, which is the Julian's calendar. So we're actually 7 years back from everybody else. So now it's actually 2014 here in Ethiopia, not 2023 like it is for everybody else. So be ready to travel in time if you come to Ethiopia. So yeah, I really suggest coming in September as you'd be able to be a part of the New Year celebration and be a part of these two festivals that I mentioned. Another festival that's actually also registered as under UNESCO as intangible heritage is Timkat, and it's an Epiphany celebration, and everybody so that's also something that I really cannot explain. My words will not do it justice, but I will share links for you to see what it looks like. And even as locals here in Addis, it's a 2 days full-on 2 days celebration. And even here as locals, I grew up here and I still get really emotional every year because it's that good. Everything looks really amazing. People are on the roads very decorated. Everybody is wearing their traditional dresses and they're chanting and singing songs, and the drums are all over. It's something you'd really want to be a part of, and people actually come to Ethiopia just for the sake of attending this festival. So just I would really suggest that you come in these times. September is one of the times that we expect a lot of incomings if you want to get a top-notch festival experience. So that's one thing. Another thing that we do in our social nights is sightseeing. This parks are amazing for those of you that just want to walk around or do hiking. Another thing is the museums. The one that I mentioned, Lucy, is actually located here in Addis, so you can visit that, and there's a lot more to see in the museums. So we take our students, those ones that are interested in history, that's where they go. Another thing that's very traditional about our country is the weddings. They're very different from what I see in the Western world, and people really want to be part of this. So I can't really promise you that you would get to go on a wedding, but whenever we get invitations for because there is a wedding season, and now is not it. June, July, August is actually a rainy season, so people don't necessarily do their weddings there, but any other time is an amazing time. And when we get invited to weddings, and if our incomings want to go and get that experience, we also take them out on that, and they just I know how different it is because, like I said, I've been a part of it, but I still get, every time I go on a wedding, I still get this rush of feelings. So there is that. So these are more or less what our social nights look like every time. If you have any questions, anything that you would want me to answer, the floor is very much open.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Maravati. It was amazing. Maramavit, I love to hear a little bit more about the Ethiopian culture and how it's been centuries for your culture and everything. We do have a question here, more than one actually. How is the safety for women, in general?
What? I didn't hear you.
what's the how's the safety for women? Like how safe
Oh,
it is?
okay. That's actually a very good question. Being a woman myself, I think I have the say to. I think it would be so. Me saying it would make it true. I hope you would take it from heart. So I don't know. I feel like I said, I feel really safe here. I honestly do. As a woman, I'm not scared of doing things on my own. But of course, not just as a country, but as a woman, you face problems every time, right? Anywhere. So those are bound to happen. I can't promise that you won't get catcalled ever, but they're not as much as you would think. They're not that many that it would make you feel really uncomfortable and it would make you feel not come here. And the charts and all of that are really low, and as a woman here I feel pretty safe. I don't have to have my brothers or my friends come with me whenever I want to do stuff. But one thing we do suggest for our incoming students is that not just women and not just girls but also men, is that you have to make sure that you're safe every time, in a sense that so we don't suggest staying out late. So one of our incoming students, for example, she gave me a call one time and she's like, I'm at the door. What door? And it was past midnight, 2 hours past midnight, and she was just getting off this cab, and I was very surprised on how daring she was, because I wouldn't do that even on my own in my own country. So both as men and women, we suggest that you take the necessary precautions to feel safe, but I don't feel that there is a precise danger that's only for women, especially in our country, if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, I usually recommend the same for the incomings in Brazil. Like, do some precautions, like basic precautions, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really similar, like Ethiopia and Brazil in this way. Thank you so much for the presentation. Another thing is, like, if I were to go to Ethiopia, which month or which season do you think would be the best? Like summer, winter? I know that winter is probably not that cold, but like which season do you think would be the best?
Okay, so like I said, September is the month to come. Not just as a season, but September, you get to do a lot of festivals. You get to be part of the New Year, and you don't even miss your own New Year. So you get to have 2 New Years in just one year of a lifetime. So that's one thing. So September is really a good time to come to Ethiopia. But another thing is, now currently it's the rainy season. It's not cold per se, but it is rainy, so you may not be able to know it just depends on what you prefer. I know people that prefer the rain, so if you like the rain and it's not that cold, you can come here. We don't have snow and stuff. We do not have that, so you can do your daily activities, but it will be raining. So this time of the year is the rain. So anytime that's not in between June and August, it's mostly sunny. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, do you have SCORI, the research exchanges, or just COPI?
So we do have SCORI, but it was activated just this year. So it's gonna take a little bit of work to really have it introduced. We had SCORI, we had SCORI for a while, of course, in our own LCs, and we've been doing a lot of things, but it was internationally activated just last year. So yeah, we do have it, but it's gonna take a little bit of work to really introduce it and have a lot of people come through that. So
Yeah,
we would be signing contracts on the next season for 24-25. So I'm hoping that
I will tell Mateus, which is our Nori out, so that he
Yeah.
can email you about the contracts.
Definitely.
We really want to have more contact with Ethiopia. Thank you so much,
Definitely.
Parafit. I think that's basically it. Thank you for accepting our
Okay.
invitation and for participating in the event today. It was amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
We'll share the presentation with the students. If you wanna share some links as well, please feel free to send on my WhatsApp, and I will make sure to upload it to them as well. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. Agora a gente vai ter nossa última apresentação com a Alemanha. Vou colocar ela aqui já. Bom dia,
Oiê,
Melanie. Tudo bem?
tudo e você?
Tudo certo. Do you guys remember when I mentioned that I received a WhatsApp audio singing happy birthday to me yesterday in Portuguese? It was her. It was Melanie. I'm still impressed, honestly, like with her Portuguese. It's amazing. Melanie, she's the NOFI or NPO as we say in Brazil. So Melanie, whenever you want to start, the floor is yours. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you. So, hi everybody from Germany. My name is Melanie. I'm from BBMD Germany, and I'm the National Officer of Public Health Exchange. This is why I have this NOFI name. It's like a combination as a NEO and an NPO. So, yeah. I would love to show you something about my nice country. And yeah, I just have to check if it's working. Can you see my screen right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, we try it again. Maybe now? It's
No.
better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. Great. I love technology. Okay, so perfect. So something about our exchanges in Germany. So a warm welcome from our side. So these are the most important persons, like in our exchange. So first of all, in the center, our fabulous Leos, Loris, and Lofis. So as you can see, we have the Scopy, the Scori, and the Fax in Germany. Without them, nothing would be possible. Like, we love them. They are so active. They always do their best, and they're just lovely people. This photo was taken like 2 months ago when we had our national Leo, Loris, and Lofis meeting. And yeah, they are just great. So next to it, there's like the Berlin office. Maybe I can use the laser pointer. It's working great. So those two guys are great. Without them, we couldn't work. So this is Eva. She's the women for the finances. And with Kevin, you might get in contact if you need a visa or invitation letters, because he's the man to ask. So like, they're just great. And here there's a picture of our national group. So you can see here our Neo in Maria, or for example, our Neo out at Nori out Charlene. And yeah, we are very happy to be here today. Or me, I'm very happy. So our NMO. So Germany just has one NMO because it's very small, like in comparison to other countries. And we are representing like more than 100,000 medical students. We have 3 annual meetings. The next one will be in my city. So we are stressed right now because it's in 8 weeks or something. And we have a lot of projects here. So as you can see, we are active in public health. So SCOF, SCORA, SCOMI, SCORP, SCOPI, and SCORI, of course. And yeah, there's always something to do next to studying medicine. And yeah, it's great because we have like in whole Germany, we have like 37 exchange LCs. And I think that's quite a lot for such a small country. So when you think about Germany, I guess one of the things you might think about is the German language, because I see some TikToks. I don't know about you, but there are a lot of TikToks making fun of German language because we sound so rude. I don't know. For me, it doesn't sound rude, but yeah, I get the point. It's very harsh, but actually, it's pretty fun because you can have like long words. This is pronounced Nasennebenhöhlenentzündung, and actually, if you want to guess what it is, I can tell you it's sinusitis. So actually, in German, you're just describing a thing. So Nase is nose, Nebenhöhlen is like the caves next to it, and Entzündung is inflammation. So if you get a bit into the German language, it's yeah, a bit weird, sometimes a bit complicated, but actually it's a nice language to learn. So if you want to have some words for this afternoon, it's morning in Brazil, right? So first of all, hello is hallo in German. Wie geht es dir is how are you? Then you can answer like sehr gut. It's very good. Or es geht so. It's like so. And of course, danke is thank you in German. So if you get here, it's like nice if you know how to say like at least hello. Yeah. So now you really want to know, I guess, where you can go with Skopje, Skori, or Fex in Germany. As you can see, like we have a lot of LCs here. So I guess like some of you know, like Berlin, which is here, or Munich, which is like there, or Hamburg. So of course, the big cities in Germany offer like an exchange, but there are also like small cities. For example, Bochum or Aachen or Homburg, like that nobody has ever heard about it. And they are just as great as well. So, and the thing I really want to tell you is like, even if you're not going to the very big cities in Germany, it's still worth a visit. Like there's so many small LCs which are so beautiful with so nice people. And the good thing is like Germany is so small, you can be like in the capital or in other big cities in within like 2-3 hours. So even if you're not getting like the big cities, it's always worth to come. Yeah. Maybe now the question for you, what do we offer for incomings? So, well, of course, you're having a great exchange, like in a hospital or like in a lab or in the healthcare system. But we have, of course, pocket money for you. So each week you will receive like 50 euros to buy food or whatever you want to do. You're going to live in a student flat or a host family. Like mostly it's like you're living with other students in a flat and you have your own room and everything is fine. So normally you won't share any room. We are offering social programs, of course. So it depends where you're actually going. For example, in my LC, I'm living in the southwest, more or less. Like we like to go hiking because there are the vineyards and it's so beautiful. Or we are visiting Frankfurt, which is like 15 minutes away. Or yeah, we're doing sports together or whatever the incoming wants to see. Like it's always good to talk with your CPs or your Leos, what you really want to do, what you want to see. And mostly they are trying the best to offer it to you, like for real. Of course, we have a national social program as well. This one, like for next month will be in Dresden, which is in the east of Germany. And there's like a nice weekend together, get together, like visiting the city, having some great food together, like having a great time. And yeah, it's always great to attend. And we're trying to do it in winter as well. But sometimes there's a lack of LCs or incomings because sometimes in winter we don't have a lot of incomings, sadly. Yeah. And what else? So we have upon arrival trainings, like local ones, and as well now we start to have like something like a pre-arrival upon arrival mix, which is online for all the incomings who attend like or who are going to stay in Germany for the month. Yeah, about food. Like I don't know what about you, but when I'm abroad, like I love trying all the food. Like when I was in Brazil, I loved the brigadeiros or the pound queijo, and I loved it. And like in Germany, of course, we are famous for beer. Like we have a huge variety. Like for real, it's insane. Like my friends, they are so into beer. You can have like whole seminars about this drink. We have wine as well. Like as I already told you, like I'm living in the wine area, so there are huge amount of festivals according to wine or beer. So what else? So we have bratwurst, like sausages. But right now there's a huge movement to eat healthier. So there's a lot of vegan and vegetarian food nowadays as well. Brot, same with beer. We have a whole brot culture. It's insane. And of course, huge cakes. It's good when you're here and you just try the food. When you're here in Germany, we have as well regional networking. As you can see, we have divided Germany into several parts. So this is like, for example, the north with the LCs, the eastern part, the southeast, the southwest, the mid, and the west. And the good thing is that we have a great connection within these regions. That means, for example, in my region, the region west, the central region, we have something like common social programs. That means that we're going to one of the cities and visiting it, and there's a huge exchange between the incomings in this area, and as well the same you can have like between the several regions. For the connection between the incomings, we have as well like a WhatsApp group, like a national WhatsApp group. And each month there are the incomings in this WhatsApp group. So you can connect if you want to, you're not forced to, but if you want to visit a city or visit something else and you're asking like, hey, does anybody wants to join? You can ask them and meet new people. Yeah, but public health exchange, of course, as I already told you, we have SCORI and SCOPI. We also have the public health exchange, and as I'm the responsible for the public health exchange in Germany, I really would like to show you a bit of it. So we have bilateral exchanges, and one of them we have this year and hopefully next year as well with DENEM Brazil. Love you. And we have currently like 3 projects in Heidelberg and 1 in Bochum. And next year, hopefully, we'll have some more because we have more LCs who really want to start new programs. So if you want to know where it is located, so one project in Bochum is it's like in the western part of Germany. There you can learn something about the public health, like the German public health system. And yeah, you do something like a rotation in this department. That's pretty nice. And we have some projects in Heidelberg as well about HIV and AIDS, something similar to Bochum, and global health teaching and practice program. Yeah. So as you can see, some more photos from Germany. It's not always rainy here. Like we have a lot of sun right now as well. It's so hot here. And we enjoy being outside, like in summer. It's like we are staying in the parks, in the vineyards, like some more parks. We have a lot of fairs and festivals. For example, this week, like in summer, almost every weekend there's something. So concerts, wine festivals, beer festivals, food festivals, like dance festivals. Like if you want to come to Germany, summer is a good a good time to come here. And yeah. Yeah, that's it from my side. Obrigado. And if you want to, if you have some questions, you can ask them right now. And I try to get out this presentation. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have many questions, but I must say that some people wrote them in German. So, and since I don't speak German, I don't know how to pronounce it. But let me check. How can I? Because like it's everything in German, and I really don't understand a word. So I will start with the ones in English. So,
Okay.
which LC is the closest to Nürnberg? I don't know how to pronounce the name of the city.
Nürnberg.
I think that's
Nürnberg.
it. Mm-hmm.
So I guess the best one, let me check the presentation again, if I didn't close them. So the best one I think is Augsburg, if they're yes,
I
I
figured
miss sauerkraut and Kartoffeln, yes. So I guess the Augsburger LC is pretty active. You can go to Munich as well. So I think it's just an hour ago, like an hour away. I'm not pretty sure if Würzburg is active right now, but they are as well. And Erlangen. Erlangen. It's pronounced Erlangen.
Okay. So that's one of the German things in the chat. I don't know what it says. So if you're a translator or something, I don't know. I
Okay,
don't
it's
think
like
it's a question or something, or just an
it's
exclamation.
like it's like you've missed sauerkraut and potatoes. And yes, I missed it, like the traditional one, like everybody knows. It's like I missed pretzels as well, but like food in Germany, that's why you have to come here, huh? You just have to try it and then yeah, you almost forget what's all German food. And it depends also in the area. Like in the north, you eat a lot of fish, obviously, because there's the Baltic and the North Sea. In the south, it's more beef and sausage and heavy food. So depends where you are.
Do you know Franziska? Franziska?
Fancy? Yes,
Yeah.
she's our Nori.
Yeah. Did you know that she came to Curitiba? Like in my
Yeah,
LC?
yeah, she was. Yep, yeah. She told me, and like I've been with her because it was the weekend before we had our weekend where we got all the information for national duties, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to Curitiba," and I was like, "Oh, it's so great! I'm so jealous because Brazil is just great, and you're going to have a great time." And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she told me.
she brought like many traditional German food, and like I don't even remember the name, but it was so delicious and so different. Like
Mm.
it was the way she cooked them. It was like outside of Brazil. Like there's nothing like in
Yeah.
Brazil. There was like
Yes,
a pink thing that she put in a
that's
type of bread. Yeah, I think that's the name, and it was really good. Like the combination, the bread was not like if you ate just the bread, it wasn't really good. But if you ate the bread with the pink thing, it was like out of this world. It was really delicious. So
yeah,
German food is something that you've got to try. Although it may not look delicious, but it is delicious. I can assure everyone that.
true.
Melanie, thank you so much for your presentation. I think another question is when is the best time of the year to go? You mentioned that it's summer, but I do know that summer months are really busy in everywhere in the world because everyone's on vacation. So outside of the summer season, which season do you
So
think would be best?
to be fair, you can come all year long because like you have spring, you have summer, you have autumn, and you have winter. So winter time, and you're like in the south or like in the center, there's the like you can have snow and do some winter sports. That's always cool. Or have the Christmas markets in December. It's great. You have a lot of food. You have a lot of milled wine, like a lot of festivals as well. Um, Me personally, I like as well like the months like September, October here in this area because it's wine season. Like the leaves are so beautiful. Everything is like very colorful and season like it's like you can come all year long actually, but summer is especially nice because like everybody's outside. Yeah.
I've been to Germany once during autumn, and it was like beautiful. It was
Mhm.
really. I wasn't in Berlin. I went to Frankfurt and to Cologne, and like the sightseeing was perfect because it was like falls leaving. It was falls,
Mm.
and it was everything. Everything was perfect. Like
Yeah.
Germany is, it's a beautiful country. Really, 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 really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, and Melanie, thank you so much for the presentation. About the nightlife, I know that the nightlife in Germany, it's really famous, I must say. I've seen some TikToks as well about the German nightlife, and it seems great. But how about the safety, for example? If I go to a nightclub and I leave at 3 a.m. and I need to go walking back to the hotel or to the accommodation, is it perfectly safe?
Yeah. So we're here very, very lucky, to be honest. Like, we don't face problems like in other countries in the world. And I personally, I'm very, very grateful to that. So, of course, there are areas like in Frankfurt am Main, like the train station. Like, this is the only place I really felt uncomfortable in Germany at night. And I was happy to be there with friends. But like in most of the cities, it's very easy. Like, even as a single woman, like if you know where to go or where not to go, and this is where you have like contact persons or Leos, you can move like everywhere alone with friends. It's it's a good thing. Like, we are pretty lucky.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Melanie, obrigado pela apresentação. You did amazing. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I miss you from the March meeting. Like, I really do miss you. And you need to send me the picture that you took during the exchanges fair, because I don't know where the picture is. I wish I had that picture. So please send it to me. And
do.
thank you so much for the presentation, for accepting our invitation to the exchanges fair today. It was amazing to have you here. And I really look forward to seeing you again, even if outside
Yes.
of the say.
Yes. I really want to go and I really love to do another exchange. And I think Brazil, it's a good place to be, huh? Actually.
That's a great option. I just received the contract email from VMD, and I will send the Fix project to you. So
Perfect. Love it.
please come. Brazil is always welcoming Germany and all countries. Thank you so much for participating.
Obrigado and have a nice afternoon. Bye.
Bye! Bom, agora que terminou todas as apresentações, já foi mandado também o link de presença. A gente vai começar a fazer o sorteio, tá? Eu vou colocar o Matheus aqui. O Matheus vai fazer a nossa apresentação do sorteio. E é isso, gente. Muito obrigado por terem participado da Exchange Fair. Espero que vocês tenham gostado, tá? E é isso. Bom sorteio, boa sorte a todos. E, assim, alguns avisos. Depois do sorteio, como que vai funcionar o sorteio? A gente vai sortear, vão ser sorteados 4 números. Por exemplo, se tem uma vaga, vão ser 4 números. Se tem 2 vagas, vão ser 8 números. O primeiro número é o sorteio, a pessoa que foi sorteada realmente. Essa pessoa tem que pagar a primeira taxa e mandar o comprovante de pagamento até dia 27, se eu não me engano. Não tô com o calendário aqui na cabeça agora. Mas se não me engano, até dia 27 para mandar o comprovante. Se essa pessoa não pagar a primeira taxa, se essa pessoa, tipo, avisar mesmo, tipo, não vou pagar, não vou conseguir ir, a gente chama o segundo número. Segundo número não pagou, terceiro. Se o terceiro número não pagou, quarto número, e por aí vai, sabe? E a primeira taxa é R$ 260. Quando você paga essa primeira taxa, você recebe sua F. A sua F, a gente manda para a Cleve manda para você. Daí você preenche a F toda com os documentos todos certos, né? Com os dados, preenchendo também as informações da Exchange Conditions, né? Tipo, quais cidades que você pode colocar, quais departamentos e afins. E daí, depois disso, você manda a F para a Cleve corrige o que tiver que corrigir e depois manda para a gente mandar para o país. Beleza? Lembrem de olhar a tabela de lotação. Para quem for sorteado para a Alemanha, eu vou pedir para que vocês entrem em contato com a Cleve, para que a Cleve entre em contato comigo, porque a Alemanha tem uma situação especial, se vocês verem lá na tabela de lotação, está 100% em tudo, mas eles têm algumas vagas específicas para alguns meses, só que são LCs e departamentos específicos. Daí quem foi sorteado, eu mando certinho para vocês, beleza? Quais são os departamentos, quais são os LCs. E sobre algumas perguntas aqui, gente, a maior parte das coisas de certificado, tá tudo nas Exchange Conditions. Só lê as Exchange Conditions que vocês vão ver tudo. É isso, Matheus, pode começar a apresentação.
Beleza. Oi, pessoal, bom dia. Bom dia, André. Todos os países que a gente teve até agora foram excelentes, muito bons mesmo. Perdoem a minha voz, tá um pouco estranha. Todo mundo me ouvindo bem?
Tá ok.
Certo. É exatamente como foi falado nos comentários, certo? Vão ser sorteados 4 vezes o número de vagas daquela vaga. Então, a ordem dos números sorteados vai ser a ordem dos ganhadores, ok? Tá. Primeiro, eu vou mostrar aqui a vocês o edital retificado, certo? O cronograma retificado, para que vocês tenham uma noção de como vai se dar o ritmo do edital após o sorteio. Ó, período de inscrições. As inscrições foram até as 23h59 de ontem, certo? O envio do comprovante, né, do pagamento, que era junto com a inscrição, também foi até ontem. A lista oficial de inscritos, eu vou mostrar aqui para vocês. Os sorteios vão ser agora. O resultado oficial, a lista oficial com todos os nomes, a gente vai divulgar até dia 26, certo? Ou seja, até amanhã, ok? O pagamento, como o André falou, é até dia 27. Comprovante até dia 28. E o envio das AFs, né, pela SEV, as CLEVs, que ainda precisam enviar as AFs aos alunos, vai ser até dia 29/6, certo? Beleza. Então, é basicamente isso. Vejam essa retificação. Tá no post do segundo edital de vagas lá no perfil da DENEM. Então, sem mais delongas, eu vou começar. E a ordem do sorteio vai ser muito simples, vai ser igual aos sorteios passados. Primeiro, Scope, por ordem alfabética, depois Score, por ordem alfabética também. Certo? Beleza. Qualquer dúvida, mandem aqui no chat do YouTube que a gente está vendo. Então, vamos lá. Começando pelo Scope, Alemanha, por ordem alfabética, né? Vou mostrar... primeiro, a lista de inscritos... Mostrar a lista de inscritos... Tá. Essa é a lista de inscritos. Eu vou mostrar por cima. Se a sua inscrição... se na sua inscrição você enviou o TCLE válido, você enviou o comprovante de pagamento válido e está tudo certo, top. Sua inscrição está validada. Mas essa lista de inscritos, se seu nome está aqui, né, não quer dizer que necessariamente você vai ser aprovado se você foi sorteado. Se você, por exemplo, enviou um TCLE com assinaturas erradas, enfim, inconsistentes com o que a gente requer, você vai ter sua inscrição desqualificada e mesmo se você for sorteado, você não vai sair no resultado oficial. Na verdade vai, mas seu nome vai estar lá grifado em vermelho e com um motivo de desclassificação, certo? Então, vou mostrar aqui rapidinho a lista de inscritos. Isso depois vocês vão poder ver no vídeo, certo? Na gravação. A gente teve por volta de 240 inscrições. As inscrições estão em ordem de envio, certo? Do formulário. Beleza. Tá ótimo. Show. Então, aqui vai ser... Pronto. Já mostrei aqui a lista das inscrições. E agora sim vamos começar os sorteios de fato. Começando pelo Scope, Alemanha, e terminando com Scope, Turquia. Depois a gente vai para o Score, começando com Score Argentina e terminando com Score Sudão. Beleza? Sem mais delongas, vamos lá. André, você consegue me confirmar quantas vagas são para a Alemanha?
Uma só.
Tá. Então, como a gente já falou e como está no edital, vamos sortear 4 números, 4 vezes o número de vagas, até do 2 ao 147. Números sorteados: 47, 6, 126 e 95. Tá.
Amigo, você consegue deixar anotado na planilha quais são os números sorteados?
Eu vou fazer isso, mas de outro jeito. Ah, não. Tá, vamos ver como é que eu vou fazer aqui. Vou deixar assim. Beleza. Então, eu vou só mostrar os ganhadores e o resultado oficial vai sair com tudo discriminado, enfim, com a legenda. Beleza? Dá certo assim, amigo?
Acho que dá.
Certo. A ganhadora foi Thalita Carvalho Gomes, eu acho que isso é da USP, né?
É a
Não,
Escola Baiana de
a
Medicina e
UFBA.
Saúde Pública.
Da UFBA. Parabéns, Thalita. E os suplentes são esses. Né? A primeira suplente é a Aline Aredes Matos, da Univaco. A segunda suplente é Luiz Otávio de Souza. O terceiro, 95.
Amigo, uma coisa. A Thalita, que falou que ela é o 47, ela disse que ela não vai conseguir ir por conta que ela não preenche os requisitos da vaga para a Alemanha.
Certo.
A gente
Então a vaga
Ou será que a gente passa para o primeiro suplente? Acho que passa para o
passa
primeiro
para o
suplente.
primeiro. Sim. Ou seja, então a Aline,
O número
você
6.
foi a ganhadora. Parabéns. Top. Colômbia. Quantas vagas, amigo?
Colômbia, pera, que eu só vou abrir aqui o edital certinho para não cometer erros, né? Que aconteceu já uma vez. Mas Colômbia, se não me engano, é uma vaga só.
Tá. Eu posso deixar aberto aqui também para o pessoal acompanhar.
Colômbia é uma vaga
Mais
só.
uma
também.
vaga. Uma vaga, né? Tá bom. Então, mesmo esquema. Vamos sortear 4 números entre 2 e 94.
Assim, amigo, se você conseguir, tipo, tirar os nomes repetidos, eu já tirei também os nomes repetidos, só que eu não sei se às vezes na planilha dá erro, mas eu removi todos os nomes repetidos antes. Mas só para a galera tá falando aqui no chat, daí só colocar lá em dados, remover cópias e colocar na coluna C, que daí remove todos.
Tá bom.
Então, na limpeza de dados, remover cópias. Daí é na coluna C, que tem os nomes. C. Isso.
Beleza. Tá, então. Vou aqui ver as vagas. Tá, vou deixar aberto aqui. Mas Colômbia é realmente 1. Então, do 2 ao 94, 4 números. 33, 38, 25 e 12. Vou deixar aqui. 33. Ana Júlia Vale Abdo, da Universidade Federal do Rio de Janeiro, Campus Macaé. Parabéns, Ana Júlia. Os outros suplentes, Augusto Henrique Macchiodi e Lucas Teixeira de Albuquerque, Maranhão, e Gabriela Yumi Nagata. Parabéns, galera. Vamos lá. Seguindo, Equador, também uma vaga. Sessenta e 68 inscritos. Deixa eu só fazer uma limpeza nas cópias. Beleza. Os números sorteados foram 15, 49, 45 e 14. A primeira foi a Iana Miranda Albino. Parabéns, Iana. 49, Ana Paula Rocha da Costa. Parabéns, Ana Paula. 45, a Esther Passos Ratti. E o 14, a Paloma de Oliveira Farias, da PUC Minas. Parabéns. Guatemala, 2 vagas.
2 vagas.
Vamos lá. Fazer a remoção de cópias aqui. Certo. Esses foram os números sorteados. Como tem muito número, eu vou falar só os 2 primeiros, né? Número 34, a Jéssica Lessa Bernardes. Parabéns, Jéssica. Da Unirv, Goiânia. E o Lucas Pinto Ribeiro, que também foi sorteado, da Unifesp, certo? Parabéns, pessoal. Todos os suplentes vão sair na lista oficial, que vai ser divulgada até amanhã, certo?
O da Honduras é uma vaga.
Beleza. É o 28. Bom. Beleza. Até o 27, na verdade. Esses foram os números sorteados. O ganhador mesmo foi o número 17, o Marcos Vinícius Miranda. Vou colocar aqui. Marcos Vinícius Miranda, da Universidade Federal de Minas Gerais.
Amigos, só lembrar de remover as cópias.
Eu fiz isso.
Fez? É daqui, disseram aqui no chat que tá colocando o número antes de remover as cópias. Mas tudo bem, acho que eu lembro, eu vi você fazendo, não tem problema. Que agora é Hungria, né?
Hungria.
Então, é uma vaga.
Beleza. Hungria. Cento e 14. 4 números. O primeiro foi o número 84. Isabela Saverghini Depra, da MSCAM, foi a primeira sorteada. Parabéns. Próximo, Itália.
Só, uma vaga só.
Uma vaga?
São duas vagas. Itália, novembro, são duas vagas. Lembrei que ensinou dois contratos.
Beleza. 131. Os dois ganhadores foram 84 e 34. 84 e 34. Felipe Braz Barbosa Maidec Mazaro, da UERJ, e Beatriz de Souza Sanches, da AMB Morumbi. Show. Bom, próximo sorteio aqui é Marrocos. Removi as cópias.
Só um adendo. O correto, entre aspas, seria o Líbano antes do Marrocos, mas como eu falei durante a live, o Líbano cancelou o contrato com a gente por conta que eles estão tendo os problemas internos, né? Eles até comentaram durante a apresentação, né? Os problemas do país mesmo. Então, o Líbano não será sorteado por conta disso, mas eu chequei as pessoas que se inscreveram para o Líbano e essas pessoas se inscreveram para outros países também, beleza? A lista de sorteio, Beatriz, não está disponível para vocês por enquanto, mas depois que a gente sortear todo mundo, a gente vai disponibilizar a lista na íntegra.
Eu posso fechar agora? Posso. Tá, só um momentinho. Show, beleza. Bom, tá me ouvindo, André?
Sim.
Então, Marrocos, uma vaga, do 2 ao 49. Sorteado foi o 2. Ué, sorteei só um, perdão. Agora sim. Os números sorteados foram 28, 48, 41 e 16. A ganhadora, na verdade, foi a Nicole Araújo Martins, da Uninove Vergueiro. Vamos lá. Próximo sorteio, Scope México. Do 2 ao 130. 3 vagas. Esses foram os números sorteados, os 3 primeiros, 39, 17 e 73. Vamos lá. 39, Giovana Lins Gerson Costa, da Universidade da UFMG. 39, 17. Camila Ostalácio Duarte Coutinho, da Faculdade de Ciências Médicas de Minas Gerais. E 73, Homero Augusto Schemes Júnior, da FURG. Parabéns, galera. Próximo sorteio, Palestina. Eu acho que é uma vaga só.
Isso.
Uma vaga. Beleza. Lembrando, galera, que a lista dos ganhadores e dos suplentes vai sair até amanhã, certo?
Daí só um adendo, eles estão falando que no edital tá que vai ser feito por ordem alfabética. A ordem alfabética vai ser a lista dos inscritos, não a lista do sorteio. O sorteio vai ser por ordem de classificação, assim, né? Quem preencheu primeiro. E daí, quando a gente organizar a lista de todos os inscritos, todos os deferidos, todos os indeferidos e os sorteados, os suplentes, vai ser por ordem alfabética.
Isso. E também não mudaria nada, assim, do ponto de vista de sorteio.
Oi?
Não mudaria nada do ponto de vista de sorteio se a gente só mudasse a ordem dos inscritos. De qualquer forma, seria um sorteio.
E só justificando aqui que a galera perguntou no chat. Daí, todos... A gente tá na Palestina agora, tem gente perguntando. A gente tá na Palestina, todos os países antes, por ordem alfabética, já foram. Então, México, Marrocos, Itália, já foram todos.
Se vocês quiserem acompanhar, vocês podem abrir o edital de vagas, tá lá no post da DENEM, um dos últimos posts lá, e vocês podem ver o edital de vagas e verem a lista dos países. Agora, Palestina, uma vaga, certo? O grande ganhador foi o número 16, Alessa Beatriz de Miranda da Silva, da Souza Marques, em Rio de Janeiro. Parabéns, Alessa. Vamos lá. Paquistão, uma vaga. Eu vou remover as cópias aqui. Mesmo que, aparentemente, eu acho que não tem. Show. Uma vaga do 2 ao 17. O grande ganhador, ou ganhadora, foi o número 7. Foi uma ganhadora, a Iana Miranda Albino, do Centro Universitário de Belo Horizonte, UniBH. Parabéns, Iana. Esses foram os ganhadores. Vou colocar aqui. Bom, próximo sorteio, Peru. Agora a gente tem 2 vagas para o Peru. Então, vamos lá, sortear 8 números, o 2 e o 88.
Só justificando, enquanto você sorteia, pode sortear aí, Matheus. A gente não vai mais mostrar suplente por conta que senão vai atrasar muito, sabe? Mas vai estar salvo aqui. A gente está salvando todos os números de suplente na planilha. Sim. Daí, quando a gente divulgar, vai estar lá o nome de todo mundo. E quais foram os suplentes, na ordem dos suplentes, beleza?
Show. Bom, Peru, 2 ganhadores, os 2 primeiros, 38 e 28. Então, 38, a Nicole Araújo Martins, que eu tenho quase certeza que ela já ganhou algum sorteio.
Eu vou checar aqui enquanto isso.
E o 28 é o Gabriel Cabreira Nunes, da UFMG, certo? Se ela já ganhou, a vaga passa para o 48 e assim sucessivamente, certo? E aí, amigo?
Por enquanto nada. É Nicole do quê?
Só um minuto. Nicole Araújo Martínez, com um Z no final. E acento no U.
Ela ganhou Marrocos.
Beleza.
Daí sorteia mais um número.
O seguinte é o 48. Marcos Vinícius Miranda Macedo.
Eu já vi esse nome aqui.
Vamos ver.
Ele ganhou Honduras.
Tá bom. Então, vamos pro próximo. 25.
Ó, Maria Fernanda, não, porque ela, como a gente disse, tipo, como a gente tá fazendo sorteio por ordem alfabética, tipo, ordem alfabética dos países, a gente, por exemplo, se a pessoa foi sorteada para um país antes, para esse ela não pode ir mais, sabe? Então, tipo, se ela ganhou de acho que foi Honduras, né, que eu falei. Ela ganhou, não, ela ganhou do Marrocos, que é antes do Peru.
Marrocos.
Não pode mais ganhar o do Peru, sabe? Ela ganhou do Marrocos, que era o que estava antes. Então, tipo, se a pessoa foi sorteada... Isso é válido só para quem foi sorteado em primeiro lugar, sabe? Quem foi sorteado tipo, como suplente ainda concorre aos outros. Por exemplo, eu tô de suplente da Itália, mas eu fui sorteado para a República Tcheca. Tudo bem, você pode ficar com a tua vaga da República Tcheca sem problemas, tá?
Show de bola. Próxima vaga. A partir de agora, todas as outras vagas do Scope são só uma vaga para cada país. Ok? Então, o próximo vai ser República Tcheca. Remover as cópias. Vamos sortear 4 números, né, para uma vaga do 2 ao 120. Bom, o grande ganhador foi o 3. Foi a Júlia Ceira Escotá Moreira, da MSCAM. Parabéns, Júlia. Romênia agora.
Romênia é uma vaga só.
Bom, vamos lá. 4 números do 2 ao 104.
Amigo, só uma coisa. Você pintou 4, mas o número sorteado foi o 3. Então a pessoa sorteada foi
perdão.
Foi a Aline Aredes Matos, da Univas.
Isso. Perdão. Não foi a Júlia Ceira. Você tá sem sorte, Júlia. Foi a Aline Aredes Matos, da Univaso. Isso. Valeu. Certo. Romênia. Esses foram os números sorteados. O grande ganhador foi o 26. O Lucas Teixeira, de Albuquerque, Maranhão. Eu acho que ele já ganhou alguma coisa também.
Vou checar aqui.
Caso ele já tenha ganhado, a vaga passa para Luísa Lorenzoni Grillo, da UFS.
O nome é Lucas Teixeira?
Lucas Teixeira, isso.
Ele tá de suplente só, não tá de... Não foi sorteado, não.
Beleza, então, parabéns, Lucas. Você garantiu sua vaga. Show. Agora, Tunísia. Uma vaga também. Vamos do 2 ao 49. Grande ganhador. O ganhador foi o número 16.
Mentira, amigo. Foi sorteado pro Peru. O Lucas Teixeira foi sorteado pro Peru.
Tá, eu vou voltar lá. Mas agora a Júlia Schneider Fritzk, da PUC Minas, ganhou Tunísia. Parabéns, Júlia. E o Lucas Teixeira aqui, eu vou pintar ele de vermelho. E a vaga passa para Luísa Lorenzoni Grillo, sim, da UFS. Parabéns, Luísa.
Ó, então show. A Aline. Pode continuar o sorteio, amigo, mas eu vou a Aline aqui. Deixa eu ver qual país que ela foi sorteada.
Para remover a Aline?
Não, só para checar se a Aline já foi sorteada para algum. Eu vou ver aqui. Pode continuar o sorteio, eu vou ver se a Aline foi sorteada.
Tá, beleza. O último país do Scope é Turquia, uma vaga. Deixa eu remover aqui. Show. 43. Então, vamos sortear 4 números, 2 ao 83. O número ganhador foi o número 63. Vou colocar aqui. 63. Isabelle Sarvegine Deprat. O nome dela também não me é estranho. Eu acho que ela pode ter sido sorteada. Mas, se não, a vaga passaria para a Aline Aredes Matos. Mas, de certeza, ela já ganhou, né? Então, a 9...
A Aline, ela não foi sorteada. Ela tá de suplente. Ela tá de suplente da Alemanha.
Show. Então a Aline ganhou lá.
Tem que ver porque a gente tem que confirmar ainda, porque a Aline tá de primeira suplente da Alemanha e a que foi sorteada foi a Thalita. Só que daí nos comentários, supostamente, né? A suposta Thalita falou que ela não vai poder assumir a vaga. Só que eu acho que a gente não pode, né? Como falaram até aqui no chat, a gente não pode excluir a Thalita porque a gente não tem certeza se foi a Thalita mesmo que comentou, né? Então a Aline segue com a vaga dela mais para frente, tá? Ela continua como primeiro suplente da Alemanha.
Sim. E de qualquer forma, se a Thalita não realmente, confirmadamente não puder, essa vaga vai andar.
Mas ó, tem gente falando que a Thalita abriu mão, só que a gente não pode confirmar que é realmente Thalita, sabe? Porque foi a Tatá que comentou no chat do YouTube, então a gente não pode ter certeza, sabe? Então a gente vai deixar a Aline como ganhadora da... Foi o que? Tunísia? Ou foi República? Já foi República Tcheca, né? Então a Aline continua com a vaga da República Tcheca.
Bom, de qualquer forma, galera...
Você acha que tem?
Oi?
Essa Isabela? Acho que a galera pediu da Isabela, né?
Eu acho que ela já foi sorteada.
Colocar que foi na Hungria. Então, o número próximo vai pro 3, que é a Aline.
Verdade.
E daí depois vai pro 9, que é a Carolina Falcone Amorim.
Isso, tá, Unirio. Parabéns. Então, Carolina...
Eu vou colocar aqui. Beleza.
Show. Então é isso, gente. Do Scope finalizado. Agora vamos para as inscrições do Score. Certo? Bom, no Score são menos países. Vamos começar por ordem alfabética mesmo. Vou fazer a mesma coisa. Remover cópias aqui, só que agora a coluna F. Beleza. O primeiro país é a Argentina. 2 vagas. Número 2 ao número 105. Os 2 ganhadores... Vamos lá. 65 e 24. Heloísa Filipino Takada, da Unirg. E 24. Lucas Mota Scherer, ou Scherer, da Emescan. Parabéns, galera. Bom, Alemanha, uma vaga.
Amigo, você colocou a Alemanha antes da Argentina?
Putz, verdade. Bom, teoricamente, a gente teria que refazer, né? Tá, então, bom, por estar fora do edital e, enfim, qualquer pessoa pode fazer recurso, porque não está fora do... isso está fora do edital, né? Foi um erro aqui da planilha. Vamos refazer, começar por Alemanha, de fato. É porque na lista aqui a primeira é a Argentina. Tá. Alemanha, uma vaga. Vamos sortear do 2 ao 103. Eu já removi cópias aqui. Se não... Beleza. Sorteado o ganhador, né? Na verdade, foi o número 94. (98), na verdade, 98. Maria Eduarda Cavalcante Souza, da UPE. Parabéns, Maria Eduarda. Agora sim. Agora sim, Argentina. Então, 8 números do 2 ao 105. Bom, os dois ganhadores, 53 e 100. Giovana Camaroto Patá, da FMJ, e 100, Maria Eduarda, que acabou de ganhar. 68, Arthur Ventura Martins Leão. Parabéns, Arthur. Show. Bom, próxima vaga é Burkina Faso, uma vaga, certo? Sorteado do 2 ao 11. Esses foram os números. Não removi duplicatas, porque visualmente não tem nenhuma duplicata. A sorteada foi a Alessa Beatriz de Miranda da Silva, da Souza Marques. Show. Chipre do Norte, uma vaga. Sorteado 2 ao 27. Os números sorteados foram 3, 4, 17 e 10. A ganhadora, na verdade, Natália Santos Silveira, da UFMG. Show de bola. Próxima vaga, Coreia do Sul. Coreia do Sul, uma vaga. Vamos sortear do 2 ao 93. O ganhador ou a ganhadora foi o número 71. Magali Akemi Oziro, da UFOP, de Ouro Preto. Parabéns. Certo, então, vamos para a reta final aqui do score, mais 5 países. Vamos sortear uma vaga, 4 números do 2 ao 58. É. 58. Os sorteados foram esses números, o ganhador ou ganhadora, a ganhadora, na verdade, foi a Juliana Afonso do Rego, da UERJ. Parabéns, Juliana. Próxima vaga, Índia. São 2 vagas, na verdade. 8 números, de 2 a 43. Esses foram os números. Os 2 ganhadores foram Diego de Aguiar Castro Ribeiro, da UNB, de Brasília, e Gustavo Yanzer Moraes, da FURG, Universidade Federal do Rio Grande. Certo? Parabéns, galera. Paquistão, né? A gente tem uma vaga só. O ganhador foi Matheus de Oliveira Ferreira, da UFMG. Agora, penúltimo país, né? Peru. Tá tudo certo, amigo? Por enquanto?
Tá sim, só tô respondendo as dúvidas aqui no chat, que eles estão dizendo que o da Alemanha, do Scope, não foi apagado as cópias, só que eu apaguei todas as cópias antes. E, tipo, se... Uma coisa, gente, se a cópia não foi apagada, é porque a pessoa ou escreveu um nome diferente, ou é um nome diferente, porque a gente não pode ter certeza também, né? Tipo, Lívia com acento e Lívia sem acento, pode ser 2 pessoas diferentes. Então, a gente não pode... Se a planilha não reconheceu, a gente não pode apagar o nome, sabe? A gente confia na planilha. Que quando vocês leem, quando a gente filtra ali em dados e remover cópias, é para todas as cópias serem removidas. Se não foi removida, daí a pessoa pode ter preenchido errado, tá? Só justificando aqui que eu escrevi isso no chat, mas também é bom falar, né?
Show. Então, Peru, uma vaga. Score Peru. Vamos sortear 4 números do 2 ao 95. Número 15, Iana Miranda Albino, da UniBH. Eu acho que ela já ganhou alguma coisa, se não me engano. Mas,
Ela
enfim.
Ela
do
ganhou do
Scope, né?
Uhum.
Certeza?
Eu vou checar aqui mais uma vez, mas esse nome eu já vi em algum lugar. Tipo, verdinho, sabe? Mas eu vou checar
Então,
aqui.
provavelmente a
Ela
vaga
foi
vai
pro
ficar com
Equador.
você, Victoria. Foi?
Equador. Uhum.
Beleza. Então, Victoria de Paula Pereira, da UFVJM. Você ficou com a vaga pro Peru. Score. Certo? Bom, por fim, último sorteio de hoje. Score Sudão. São 3 vagas, na verdade, então vamos sortear 12 números. Do 2 ao 18. Esses foram os números sorteados. Os 3 primeiros, 15, 4 e 9. 15, Karen Luiza. 4, a Marina Alves. E 9, Luísa Carvalho de Castro. Parabéns, galera. Bom, era isso. Conseguimos fazer todos os sorteios. Pelo edital, vou colocar aqui o edital retificado e o cronograma do edital retificado. Bom, o resultado oficial vai sair até amanhã, certo? O pagamento da primeira taxa é para ser efetuado até dia 27 e o comprovante, o envio desse comprovante é para ser realizado até dia 28, ok? A SEV, vai enviar as AFs, as CLEVs, até dia 29/6, né, que é a quinta-feira. O estudante que pagar, né, a primeira taxa, enviar o comprovante, e receber a F, ele vai ter até dia 9 de julho, né, para enviar a sua F. Ou pelas Exchange Conditions, o que vencer primeiro. Exemplo, se pelas Exchange Conditions ele tem até dia 1 de julho para enviar a F para o mês e país que ele quer, ele tem que obedecer essa condição, porque esse prazo vence primeiro. Scope Itália é uma observação. O intercambista tem até dia 30/6 para enviar. Então, quem ganhou o Scope Itália já tenta providenciar todos os documentos o mais rápido possível para assim que você enviar a F, assim que você receber a F, você já enviar a F no prazo, certo? Era mais ou menos isso. Valeu, pessoal.